Hi, everyone. Tony from Mac the Movies here, and today we're talking about Batman Begins for its 20th anniversary. Is this the perfect Batman origin story? Let's find out today on Hack the Movies. Guys, we're back.
Yay.
I had 2 years to lock down the Batmobile to do an episode, and it fell through.
You got one.
It fell through every time.
Yeah, exactly.
He shrunk it for you.
Literally, by the time you told me when you could come up here, I went to his account and saw he was already at conventions. I was like, there's no chance in hell we're
We
getting
also
that
could
car.
have scheduled this.
We should have flew to him.
Well, I asked multiple times. I said, Tony, like, let me know when you book it so I can plan my trip and come up.
Look, you know, we
What
tried.
happened?
We tried. No Batmobile, but that's fine. Because we're going to talk about Batman Begins, the movie that brought Batman back. I need to give you guys a heads up, though, unfortunately, because this is the only weekend Crystal could come and record this.
Yep.
She picked the one weekend where we have a toxic gas leak in the store. Now, I thought I patched it up, but occasionally there might be toxic gas shooting out into the store.
Should we be down here?
We shouldn't, but we really got to talk about Batman, and it's the only day Crystal can do it, Frank.
And this is the only place we can do it.
What are we
This
gonna
is
do?
the only video
We got to be in the store.
We have to be in. If we can't get the Batmobile, we have to do it in the store.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we just have to.
Do we have
it.
gas masks?
Oh, God! See that leak. That leak. Sorry, I must have. I have Band-Aids around it. It must have
Face.
peeked out a little bit. I'm so sorry.
That's why
so
I'm sitting
sorry.
over here. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Anyway,
Crystal,
let's
please sit in the
At least
middle.
it doesn't smell bad.
let's do our best.
You sniffing it?
Okay, I work with a lot of like hazers and fogs, and
Yeah,
sometimes when
and
you do it for so long, like
it's got that musky
it has this
smell.
smell.
Yeah. Well, let's do our best to just ignore the deadly poisonous gas in the store, okay? Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins. Now, this was early 2000s is when they started developing this.
Yeah.
Batman kind of went away for a while because Batman and Robin kind of made the whole series look bad.
What?
I mean, well, yeah, Forever hit really well. Like, it made a ton of money, so
Yeah.
they were like, all right, let's do another one. And then Batman and Robin just shit the bed.
No,
Yes.
stop it. Stop talking shit.
I mean,
love Batman.
it was good.
No, Batman
like,
and
it was a
Robin
great
is
watch.
so
No, it's not.
fantastic. Shut up. I think it's the best Batman
Fuck
movie
you.
that ever existed.
No,
Yes.
well, okay. It's
Look,
it's
look,
campy.
look,
It's
look.
over the top.
It made Batman go away. But Marvel started pumping out movies. You had your Blade, X-Men, and then
X-Men.
Spider-Man was the big one. And I
Yeah.
think DC was like, well, we got to bring Batman back, and we have to restart it.
I mean, they
'Cause
were working on this for 8 years all around. I mean, originally they wanted Schumacher to come back. and make
Schumacher
a third.
won it. Schumacher was giving them the movie they thought they wanted, like a big toy commercial. He said he wanted to do like a year one type story.
Yes.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, but would it have with Schumacher making it?
Well,
I heard the studios were like, he wants to do year one. Yeah, let's give it to somebody else.
I mean,
yeah, so it was kind of in limbo. At this point, Christopher Nolan had shot a movie for Warner Brothers,
reach.
Insomnia, starring Robin Williams and Al Pacino.
Yes.
So he heard that
know if
Warner
I've ever seen
Brothers
that.
was trying to reboot Batman. He had a contact with them.
I don't know if I've ever seen
It's like
It's
a remake
It's
of a
wonderful.
European film.
But his Memento was so, like, that's the film.
yeah, so like he's still riding high for Memento. Insomnia did really, really well.
Did it do well? I
What?
thought it was Insomnia. I thought
think
it was
it did
kind
well.
of like a all right. And he
Yeah.
also had a very small film before that called The Following.
Follow. I think it's just Following,
Is it?
which I will
Yeah.
bring up a little bit later. Someone
sorry.
from that movie is in this. I like Following.
Trying to bury the lead here.
So yeah, he was on his way up. He got into contact with Warner Brothers. He told them like, "Hey, this is how I would do it." He got the writer David Goyer.
I heard he didn't even want to do it. I heard that he
wanted to.
that like
Really?
that Warner Brothers, because this did, I guess, semi well for
Yeah.
them. They turned to him and said, these are a list of movies and IPs that we have.
Yeah.
And he supposedly and he was like, they offered him Batman, and then he found interest in it from there. But I think that they gave him like a list of shit, which he probably still found interest in right
Yeah.
away. But
Yeah.
So either
which is
way-
awesome. Imagine
wonder what that list
doing
was.
like smaller films like Memento, Insomnia, and then
What do you
they're
mean,
like,
Frank? That happens all the time right now. Marvel will find someone who
I
did a
know.
really good
Yeah,
indie film,
yeah,
and then they
yeah.
make them do garbage like the Marvels and ruin their reputation.
Whoa,
forever.
Taika Waititi. He got brought in for Ragnarok, and
They got him
that was
a little
way
late.
bigger
I
than.
love Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I was just saying, it happened. Actually, no, it's actually a problem because they get these directors who do these
Yeah.
smaller things, and then they don't give them a mid-budget. They immediately throw
Are
a
we
giant
talking-
franchise
It's
at them.
$250
We
million.
can't really talk about movies right now, like today's movies, because all it is right now is Netflix and Hulu, and it's just trying to get fucking
Yeah.
content out as fast as they can, as much content.
But
out
this
as
is when you
possible.
can
It's all
still do it
IPs.
and it still worked. So yeah, he got David Goyer involved, who had written the Blade movies,
Yeah.
or at least the first one. He's about to direct the third one at this
third.
time, which he said he wanted to make a Batman movie, but he wasn't able to do it at the time because he was ready to direct. I don't know
Yeah.
what movie he was ready to direct. It might have been.
I think
It
it was
might have
Blade
actually
Trinity.
been.
Yeah.
It might have been Blade Trinity, which
Yeah.
goddamn, that was a mess.
Because
We reviewed it.
he wrote the script with Nolan. They started writing it together,
Yeah.
and then Goyer went to go shoot Blade Trinity, which oh fuck, man.
Go back and watch our Blade Trinity review.
And then Nolan kept on touching up the script a little bit and
Yeah.
kind of made it what it really is today.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
That's
they
great.
went
God.
like real hardcore with this. They like went to DC Comics and they went through like all like the big stories. They really liked the 70s stuff with Neil Adams and the other guy whose name I'm blanking on right now. Dennis O'Neil and Neil Adams. So they liked the whole Ra's al Ghul. Not enough to say his name right in the movie, but they liked the whole Ra's al Ghul stuff.
There's
They
kind
like,
of a play on that at some point.
yeah, because the 70s they were talking about is like when they made Batman a little bit more global. Like he
Yeah.
left Gotham more
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
And they decided, hey, let's do an actual origin story. Because I think we talked about this in Mask of the Phantasm. They didn't really do an origin story
No,
for
they
Batman ever.
Yeah, first time.
It was just, hey, here he is.
Yeah,
No
it would be
one
like
knew anything.
Michael Keaton's. It's like it's early Batman, but like other than his parents getting
That's all
shot,
it is,
you, like
yeah.
you never really got like Batman Forever a little bit with the well, and that's it. And they
Yes.
cut most of that stuff out.
Yes.
It's just his fears, pretty much.
Yeah,
through
and this
it.
is when
Yeah.
most movies were doing origin stories, so it fit the time. Now origin stories are annoying.
I was just gonna say that.
Yes.
I can't stand origin stories too
Yeah,
much.
but
You know how many times you've seen the Spider-Man one or the Batman one, and you're like, I really don't need.
But now we can do it like the newest Spider-Man and the newest Batman. They skipped over the whole
Yeah.
origin
Yeah.
part, and they did it pretty well because they know we know,
Yeah.
and they leave enough crumbs for people who aren't
and
aware.
this new Batman, Brave and the Bold, that's coming out, supposedly they're starting right with Damian Wayne and all the way like
a hell
you
of a
know,
way
all
to
the into it.
start.
We're
That's
just
actually
like,
kind of cool.
I guess. I mean, you know.
I mean,
We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
I kind of want to see Batman teenage years.
Well, they were trying that with Robert Pattinson,
I mean,
and then
kinda-
COVID threw a
Oh,
monkey wrench in it. Yeah, and now the sequel keeps getting delayed.
I mean, you also
like-
see it a little bit in this, in the beginning of this
Well, you don't-
film.
you
He's
see-
supposed to be
Yeah.
like 19.
Yeah, but I want to see like from when his parents died on because
Yeah,
I want to
Gotham.
know.
Yeah, there's a show called Gotham.
Gotham.
There's several
Oh,
seasons
that's
of the
right.
show
You've
Gotham.
seen it.
I've never seen Gotham.
No,
I've never seen this show.
It's more hit than miss. When it misses, it misses.
It's
but it's
fun.
fun. It's fun.
I've seen
It's
clips
fun.
of it, but
I think you'd
never,
enjoy-
like,
I think you would
but it
enjoy
doesn't-
Gotham.
Does it actually focus on him being a kid?
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, it wasn't
it's
supposed
from-
to, and then they did.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
It's from when his parents died, and then that ran for what, 6
Yeah.
seasons, and
Yeah,
just
I-
through those years. Of
And
him
then there's an
growing,
I've only
awkward,
seen
really long
clips of
time
it.
cut in the last episode where they fast forward.
which
Yeah,
they
I know.
used the bat suit from this movie to.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
in the show, should I watch the show?
You should.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Is it worth
fun.
it?
I think it's worth
Yeah.
it. I had a
Okay.
lot of fun.
Like I said, it works more than it doesn't.
Yes.
There are some really bad decisions in that show,
Okay.
but it's fun. It's
think
never
you're right.
not fun, Gotham.
Do they play him as like a spoiled brat? 'Cause
Not
that's,
really,
That's
no.
the way
He's
I
training.
think.
No.
So
Yeah.
like they try to up the game a little bit to where like he's actually training to become better and tough and this and that
Yeah.
through it, and he wants to help the cops and all that.
Yeah.
Like he's very involved, but he doesn't know that he's going to be Batman yet.
Yeah.
Like there's no like cowl or tools or anything like that.
Until,
It's
like, way
he's
later.
kind of like running around town, and then he's meeting these younger villains, like a younger Poison Ivy, a younger Catwoman.
Yeah.
And then they
I
fuck up
knew
the
that
Poison
they
Ivy
do.
thing.
Do it
But
all.
anyway.
So I knew that
anyway.
they meet, but like, I always thought of him as like this spoiled little brat because if you also see like this, in the beginning of
this
this,
one,
he
yeah.
kind of seems a very
Not that.
He's a little whiny, but
He's
he's
being
not
a normal
he's-
kid, I think.
But he's not. I mean, it makes sense of what he's doing, but he's really whiny. And what
Yeah.
Yeah.
the latest Batman, right?
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah,
that
he's
is where
very emo in the
Yeah,
Batman.
emo, yeah.
in the Batman. That's kind of where I see
Come
him
on,
as a
wrist
kid.
and black man.
But yeah, so the whole point of this is they really wanted to tell an actual Batman origin story. Where does he get all this stuff? How do he get the training? Which the comics flirted with a little bit. There are stories where they go in his origin. Henry Ducard, who's a big character in this, is a character from his past. We mentioned in Batman 89 that the writer of Batman 89 created that character for the comics. So it's funny that some connection from Tim Burton's Batman made it into this
He
He was
film.
supposed to be in those films. They wrote him. They were trying to write him in, and then they took him out.
Yeah, well, they ignored Sam Hamm after the first movie. They're like, go away. We're going to make the Penguin a bird man. So the first thing they built was the Batmobile. They like got together with model car kits. Everything, all the development for this movie was in Christopher Nolan's garage.
Dude. Awesome.
So yeah, they
Yeah.
like formed the Batmobile first, and that's kind of how they pitched like their look for Gotham to the studio.
He wasn't gonna have a Batmobile at first, and the studio was like,
Yeah,
"We need a
that's
Batmobile if
mandated.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have it."
I know he said like he maybe played with the idea of him not even having the bat ears,
Yeah,
and someone had to be
yeah,
like, "No,
yeah.
Chris,
He
you,
has
you
to have
need
the bat
the."
ears.
There's certain things you need.
Yeah.
This after this, he starts to put more of his stamp on it. But this is like the most Batman-y of the three, I think.
Yeah.
He got like a really great team. He gets his cinematographer Wally Pfister, who he worked with on a bunch of films. He got Hans Zimmer and James Newton Howard. Both of them on their own are great together. Great.
Incredible score to work out.
I
to.
also
Yes.
worked with Hans Zimmer, FYI.
Did you?
Yeah, you texted me that day. I'm like, God damn it.
It was an insane show. It took forever to load it. It's live music, him conducting everything.
Nice.
That's awesome. So they got Chris Corbould involved with this. He's a special effects guy. He does a lot of work on the James Bond films. And James Bond is the thing you need to think of when you go into this series. Nolan loves James Bond.
Yeah.
To the point people keep asking him to make his own James Bond. I'm
Yeah.
like, no, he kind of did with these. To the point that James Bond started ripping off him, ripping off James Bond.
Yeah.
So
it very
these
well.
movies focus on hyper realism,
Yes.
which was annoying back in the
grounded.
back in the day because they kept saying realistic, and everyone's like, "Well, that doesn't make sense. Realistically, this happened." I'm like, yeah, realistically, you want to dress up like a bat to punch people? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I mean, these are like they're the movies of their time.
They
Like,
wanted to-
nowadays.
They are, exactly.
Nowadays, I want something more fantastical
Yeah,
because
but like
we
they
got
never,
this.
they never like try to trick you into thinking it was real. They wanted it to feel
Yeah.
realistic.
Everything was practical that they
Yeah,
used.
well, not everything, but most
of
things
the
were.
stuff.
Yes.
I mean, that was their main goal, was to make everything practical.
Yeah, if anything, he used so much practical stuff that even when Nolan uses visual effects these days, he pretends that he doesn't. And it's getting kind of annoying because we know he's lying. It's like,
no,
no,
man, he crashed that plane into the.
that was real, but there was others.
thing, you
It
know?
was with Oppenheimer where the visual effects people came out like, no, we erased that for you. We extended. Like, what are you doing? Anyway, so yeah, they built these gigantic sets. They built like a giant Gotham set of like the main street, the Narrows. They built a giant Batcave
Yeah, all in.
that they like
England.
barely used in the next two films.
Yeah, the Batcave
Yeah.
is pretty impressive in this.
Yeah, it's
and it's
huge.
cool because it's more cavey.
Yeah, and they flooded it too. They like actually flooded it so
Really?
they can get
Yeah.
like reflections and
That's
stuff.
cool.
A lot of work went into this. Like they went hard bringing Batman back because it had to compete with Spider-Man, X-Men, 2003's Hulk, Daredevil. Okay, maybe those two it didn't have to compete with,
come
but
down.
it had to compete with the other ones. It had to look really,
X-Men,
really
Spider-Man
good.
2 came out right before this.
The year
I think.
before,
The year before this, right?
And
So-
and Warner Brothers really needed it to be good because for whatever goddamn reason, they released a Catwoman movie that was
Yeah,
loosely
we don't-
connected to the Tim Burton films that no one watched a year before this.
I heard it won awards.
Oh yeah, it won a Razzie.
Yeah.
It won a Razzie.
Isn't that good? I
I
really.
can't even joke saying that it won an award.
It did win an award for worst
did. It
film,
really did.
and I think worst actress. And Halle Berry
and she showed
accepted
up,
her
yeah.
award.
You don't show up for those,
I-
but she showed up.
Anyway, so they needed
Sad
this.
when she knows it was that bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So they
dude.
needed this movie to be really good.
that basketball scene still blows me away to this day. It's wonderful.
So yeah, they put it out in the summer of 2005. I was excited for this as a hardcore Batman fan. I was sad. I was still like a Tim Burton purist, but I in 2005 I said, Tony, you just have to accept that Michael Keaton will never be Batman again for as long as you live. or at least until 2022. So I was
That's
like,
what he said.
I was ready for a brand new Batman.
What a
So
fucking
you were a
waste.
diehard Tim Burton.
At the time, yeah.
You weren't a Schumacher fan.
Huh?
You weren't a Schumacher fan?
I was when I was very young, and then I got older. I'm like, these are
It's kind of
stupid.
fucked up.
And now I'm older. I'm like, oh, they were all kind of stupid.
No, dude. They were awesome. I was
and I liked
7 and 8.
I like that they weren't using, well, they were using big villains, but not like the traditional ones. They
Yeah.
were starting with Scarecrow,
Yeah.
Yes.
Raz,
Awesome.
and Henry Ducard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like people.
They even threw in Victor Zsasz.
Yeah, a little bit. I wish we got a little bit more of them, but yeah, I'll
Yeah.
take
I
it.
wish we had a little bit more of all of them, to be
Yeah.
honest.
I don't know. I think it was like the perfect amount, man.
Yeah. And they
Like,
worked in a lot of the Frank Miller stuff with Year One. So you have
Yeah.
Falcone.
Yeah.
This is the first time you saw Falcone
It's
live
a,
action.
it's a gangster film. Like
Yeah.
it
It
really.
is. I mean,
Well,
that's
that
what it's
is-
based off
It's
of it.
these are
'Cause
mob
they-
films.
Again,
man.
they were inspired by like Miller's Year One and then the Jeff Loeb like Long Halloween,
Yeah.
which is all about how Gotham transitioned from organized mafia to fucking people in costumes creating
Yes.
chaos. It's all about that like in between area,
Yeah.
which they go more into in the next film.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
it's a mob film.
I mean,
and,
if you open up
it's
old
awesome.
Batman
I love it.
comics, outside of his classic villains, that is what he was fighting, just like random gangsters and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
so-
feel like this is the intro to masks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
'Cause by the end, where all of a sudden they're like, oh, there's another one.
Plus, Scarecrow's like the perfect introduction into masked villains and all that because
Because it's not-
it's like realistic. Like some
Yeah.
guy
Yeah.
that just makes like this poisonous gas that makes you
And
crazy and
it
lose
works
your
in
mind.
with the
It's-
theme of the
Yeah.
film,
It's
which is
not
all
too
about
much
fear and
fear.
overcoming
Yeah.
fear.
And it's
So
not
good.
insane that the fact that he wears a mask, because he does it to like even freak them out
Yeah.
even
Yeah,
more.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
not, it's a tool that he uses.
but also
It's
so that
not
he
to-
doesn't breathe it in, I
Yeah.
guess, as well, right? So, but
Oh, I
like,
mean, that would
yeah,
also make
but
sense.
as a
but
tool
like,
to
also,
scare
it,
them
like,
once
yeah,
they're-
or if
yeah.
not,
When
it
it
would
comes
just be a
to
normal mask,
films
but yeah.
about conquering your fear, this is the second best one I've seen. The first one, of course, is my senior thesis, Getting on the Slide, which I think tackled the subject a lot better than Nolan. I know I'm biased, but I think when it comes to conquering fear, Getting on the Slide is like right at the top, and then Batman Begins right below it.
I've never seen Getting on the Slide.
When did you first see Batman Begins?
So I was a huge Batman fan growing up.
Yeah.
Like massive. The animated series, the Burton films, especially Returns. When Forever came out, it might have been like one of the first movies I've seen like in a movie theater. The first one was Aladdin, and I got scared and I ran away from the genie. Yeah. But fell in love. And then like I kind of grew up a little bit and like was a Batman fan, but like was more into sports and
Yeah.
basketball and
What a
all that. It
bro.
like wasn't like I like started
thought
to
you
get
were a
away,
nerd
dude.
your entire life.
I
This is
was.
upsetting.
I had like a 6-year like just like
What are you,
break.
like the high school movie, High School Musical?
High School
Wow,
Musical?
I feel like a freaking
Are you calling me
old
Zac
person.
Efron?
I am.
Oh,
You know,
People-
that high school thing. When
People
they
often
sing.
compare me to Zac Efron. They're like, Tony,
Well,
you're just like Zac Efron.
we used to get. We thought they thought we were brothers, and it was a whole thing.
It was
God,
High School Musical was based off me
Yeah.
and Frank.
At Blessed Virgin Mary.
Wait, which part are you? If he's Zac Efron, who are you then?
I don't know who's the other guy.
you
Who's
the
the
girl?
other guy in
Are
High
you the
School
girl he
Musical?
falls
I've never
in
seen
love
High
with?
School
Is it
Musical.
Gabrielle or something?
I love that you
Like-
thought I actually watched High School Musical. Anyway,
But I kind of took a little bit of a hiatus. I wasn't like big into comic books and all that. I kind of took a little bit.
Okay, cool.
But these movies started to come out, and then I really got back into it and started to fall in love. These were the movies that also got me into film because I wasn't just watching them as Batman films. I was watching like the making of these movies and everything that went into them, and and I studied them. Like as I grew up, all the way, into my early 20s, these movies were just on repeat, like non-stop. My girlfriend at the time, even I only ever dated my wife because I love you. But this girlfriend at the time that I had, like, she thought I was nuts because it was literally all I freaking watched on TV. Like, it was,
man, those
but-
girls must have hated you. I definitely don't have a relatable story.
But I fell in love.
anything.
I fell in love with them, and then my 21st birthday was when Rises came out, and the weekend before I got special midnight tickets like 5 days early to see Rises at midnight.
Oh, that's cool.
But you could see the other two starting at 6 p.m. whatever it was.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then they showed Begins, they showed Dark
Nice.
Knight, and then they showed Rises at midnight.
That's a
Yeah,
long
yeah,
night.
Yeah, well, and it was my 21st, so we went to AC for the
Fine.
weekend, and then I think it was like Sunday or Monday or whatever they did it. So then I was We just were hungover with a whole bunch of
Sounds
candy
fun as hell.
and watched 9 hours of Batman.
When did you first see Batman Begins?
Same answer as always. I don't remember.
Great job. No, I saw it.
I don't remember. I honestly think I blacked out, but like before. I think yesterday. Like, I don't remember anything.
Do you know how you got
where you
here?
are right now? This is a
state
show.
I am?
Hit the smoke.
Show.
Hit the smoke.
Wait, I don't live here anymore. What happened?
Don't let her remember how she got here.
Well, I saw this opening day. It was actually my last day of sophomore year. So I was excited. Like, guys, let's go see the new Batman. And I just...
Sophomore. I'm
2005.
confused.
Of high school.
It didn't come out. The age
I
is
will
not
fucking
mixed
How old
right
is he?
now. Did you fail how many times?
Show his
So-
age?
Anyway,
It's crazy. A sophomore, the age of 14.
so then I thought, guys, this was the first movie I ever dressed up for.
Really?
I went in the Batman. I had my George Clooney Batman costume because that
And
was the
this
most
is when
affordable one with the nipples.
literally Tony begins.
Yeah.
Like,
So I went
Tony
there.
begins.
So I went there in the full Batman outfit with
Oh,
my
God.
friends.
Yes.
And we were in the hallway waiting for the movie to start, and
nerd.
people would come up to me, and I stood in front of the big Batman sign, and they would come up to me like, "Hey, what did you think of the new Batman?" And I would look at them and go, "Oh no, I saw Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants," and I said it deadpan in the bat suit.
There's a new Batman.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh no, I just wear this." I saw Sisterhood. I'm like, those girls have a friendship that I really care.
That's why people like Deathstroke want to punch you in your face.
Yeah, we told that story a long time ago. Wonder how that guy's doing.
Oh, shit. I miss that guy.
But I loved it. I saw it like twice in theaters. And this was a big one. Because people were kind of burnt out after the last one. And people were like, wow, this might actually be the Roger Ebert. I think it says it on there. It says it's one of the best, whatever, 2 thumbs up. People were saying this is the best Batman movie
It's
ever.
not even just like a great movie. It's just a great movie. Not a superhero movie, not
Yeah,
a Batman
it's
movie. It's just
more of a
great
good movie than
freaking
it's
movie.
like it's trying to be a better movie than it is a faithful adaptation. Although it is pretty faithful. I mean, it takes liberties.
Yeah.
I know some people were mad it didn't adapt the stories like 1-to-1. I'm like, well, they still want to put fresh stuff in, so
Even
you're not.
Marvel doesn't, do that. I mean, they don't.
Yeah.
They usually don't do it with most movies. They
Yeah,
don't,
yeah.
mimic
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
if they did, I think it would be boring and too predictable.
Yeah.
You gotta
Exactly.
spice it up a little.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's annoying when the animated film. Sometimes the animated films do it. It's like fine.
I mean, they're more like, like to the comic page, but sometimes you do have to have Batman bang Barbara Gordon just for fun, right? I feel like that's
God, I
normal.
forgot about that.
Let's
It's
do that.
so
Let's-
ridiculous.
yeah. I was waiting for that in this film. Never
Yeah.
came.
But
Never
yeah,
came. Never came.
they got forgot to mention the cast for this friggin' thing. They got Christian Bale to be in this bad boy.
Yeah.
He right before this did The Machinist, where he was a skeleton.
Incredible.
And then they told him you need to bulk up, and then he took him literally. And then he got really, really big, and they went, "Oh my God, he's gigantic. He won't fit in the suit." Like in the behind the
didn't see
scenes,
that.
30
Nolan
pounds
and his
overweight.
wife were like real. They were like, we were real concerned. So then he like ended up like getting leaner, but he Nolan said that, or Bale said that there was like someone like in the production that he worked with before, and they said, "What are we doing, Fat Man or Batman?"
Wow.
He's incredible to
He got in incredible shape.
losing the
Yes.
weight that he did for the Machinist and then gaining it back that's why. Did you see how small he was in the Machinist? Have you
I
seen
saw
that?
that,
Yeah.
but I
It's
didn't see how
incredible.
big he got to where he had to slim down.
Yeah,
for the-
you see it a little bit in this movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, they Nolan also said one of the movies that inspired him. We have a whole episode on how this film inspired every superhero film was Superman. And he loved that they used big actors like Gene Hackman and Marlon Brando. He's like, I want to do that for my film. So they got Morgan Freeman to be Lucius Fox,
Yes,
Wrote it for
perfect.
Liam Neeson as Ducard, Ken Watanabe, who was up and coming at the time,
Yeah.
to be Raz. So they got like every big person they could get, and also Katie Holmes.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate her in this.
She
I
makes
hate
people.
her in this.
She makes people want to jump on couches.
Yeah, this is
all
when
I
she
know.
was. This is when she was all in on Tom Cruise. I
love her.
She
I love her.
auditioned to be Tom Cruise's wife, and she won the part.
Her
and
acting in this drives me nuts. That's
My-
the one. It literally just kind of is like nails on a chalkboard.
well, good news.
got a good
good
scene.
news. She's only around for this
She has
movie,
good
Crystal.
lines. That's it. She has a
Yeah,
couple
wow.
good delivery of a couple lines, but every
Yeah.
time I see her, I'm like,
Well, don't worry. Maggie Gyllenhaal's right around the corner.
Oh, joy.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's ready to replace her
I
one movie
I
later.
upset her one day, so we'll get to that in that
What?
when we get to that review.
I've seen her in person too, but
Yeah.
we'll get about
Yeah.
we'll do
I
that in the
want
next
to know
one.
it. Okay.
So yeah, and then they got my favorite bit of casting at the time because I loved him. Your sister hates him. Gary Oldman as
Wait,
Gordon.
why does she hate him?
Don't ask me.
She blames the movie Tiptoes, which in that case you have to hate everyone involved with Tiptoes because that movie's terrible. Anyway,
not
He
like
is-
Dracula. Or...
He's one of the fucking greatest actors.
I know, and he looks like Gordon. Not like Pat Hingle in the other movies, who I don't know what that was supposed to be, but guess what? It wasn't Commissioner Gordon.
He was
No.
supposed to be Ducard first. They brought him in for that, and then
But he wanted to play a good guy.
wanted to play a good guy.
Yeah.
So then Nolan offered him James Gordon, and
And
was
he's
like,
perfect
you know,
for the
hey,
role.
yeah,
He's
He's
still
so
the best
good.
Gordon.
Dude,
he
he's
is
so
Yes.
perfect.
good, man.
1000%.
When he puts that jacket over him in the beginning,
Yeah.
you're like, oh,
Well, let's
man.
get into the film now that we've done
What
enough preamble.
Yeah, what a full layout right before we got. I think
Yeah.
this might have been one of
Wait,
our
we're not
longer
done the
ones.
Set the page here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Are we talking about this?
What are
let's get into it. Let's get into
I
it.
thought we were done.
Batman Begins
That's a perfect
opens
review
up
right there.
opens up on a bat symbol made out of bats. And then we see young Bruce and Rachel running around the garden of
doesn't-
Wayne Manor.
It doesn't say. Sorry to cut you off. It doesn't say Batman Begins in the beginning. Which
No,
I
they
like.
save it for
It's
the end.
just
No
that.
opening credits for this one. Just
I don't think I
all
realized
three of them
that.
don't have opening credits. They just have that logo in the
I
beginning.
really love it.
I didn't realize.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why I love it at the end.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
So yeah,
After you.
they're running
I wonder
around.
if it's the same reason I just thought of in my head.
Maybe.
Anyway, they decided they wanted this Rachel character. Nolan was like, we wanted to have a character who knew Batman before he was Batman. And in my head, I was like, Alfred. But I guess you can't have Bruce Wayne want to have sex with Alfred. That would be problematic. So they're like, let's give him a lady friend. So this is like, she's like the daughter of one of the staff at Wayne Manor that he's friends with.
Yeah.
They find an arrowhead in his garden.
What's the woman's name from Mask of the Phantasm? What's
Andrea
her?
Beaumont,
Andrea
yeah.
Beaumont.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They should have
yeah.
brought in Andrea Beaumont.
Oh, that would have
That
been
would've been
cool.
You want a redhead in this movie? No. Anyway,
We got one in the review.
I know. Unfortunately,
How many redheaded TikToks did I send you? I was hoping your.
you know
freaking
what? The
TikTok-
sad thing is Trisha doesn't watch Batman stuff because she's been compared to Katie Holmes so much.
I know,
Oh, that's actually fine.
dude.
I didn't even think about
There's a
that.
shot in this film where I'm like, huh, she does look like Katie Holmes a little bit.
Anyway, he steals the arrowhead from her and then he falls into the well, which was introduced. I believe it was introduced in the famous comic story, The Man Who Falls. Maybe it was mentioned beforehand, but this is the big story with it. The special edition DVD gives you like 2-3 stories that were influential
That's
on this
cool.
film. But yeah, let me see if I can find it. Yes.
Yeah.
We have the story of Batman falling into the well and
Okay.
being covered around bats. This is the one Batman Forever took inspiration
Yeah.
from.
I kept watching, thinking that there was going to be a giant rubber bat that comes flying in. Which one is that? Batman
That was
Forever?
Batman Forever.
And then I was like, no, that's not that one. And then I was like, no, this is the one where like he gets lifted up by the bats
No,
and
that's
he
the-
floats
that's a
to the
different
top.
one.
And I was like, wait, no, that's Batman versus Superman. I was like, how does this one go again?
Well, remember, they introduced that in the comics. And we talked about it in the other episodes that, like, originally Bruce Wayne was like, what should I dress up like to scare people? And then a bat flew into his
Yes.
house and he went, that's it.
Yes.
Like, what if anything else had flown into that
Yes.
window at that?
Pigeon Man.
Someone threw a rock. He's like, I will be the rock.
Oh, no. Oh, shit.
Anyway.
Sean Connery's like, you are the rock.
You're on the rock. He's terrified of the bats. And then we can see older Bruce in an Asian prison. Nolan really likes his non-linear stuff.
Wait, can we just talk about when Alfred picks him up? Because
We're not at that part yet. It's
not there
non-linear.
yet?
It's
No, this-
non-linear.
We're not even past the first scene yet.
Yeah, we'll get there. Save it. Remember,
note.
Memento did so well that Nolan wanted to tell a non-linear story for
No,
the first hour.
I mean,
My brain doesn't go like that. I remember it as
you're
like,
you're
linear.
fixing it in
Yes,
your head to be
I
chronological.
did.
That's not how the movie plays out.
It's so good.
Wait, isn't it like there's like flashbacks within flashbacks in this? damn
Yeah, there
movie?
actually is.
Every time he passes out, he goes back.
Yeah.
And then
my
dude,
God,
that's
it's,
great.
it's so good.
So he wakes up in a prison.
Okay,
so
go
well
ahead.
cut.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
He wakes up in a prison We don't know why he's there. We will learn why he's there.
Nightmares scarier than this place.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
scarier than this place.
Oh God, it's so good.
And he gets confronted by some prisoners who know who he is. And the one of them, when I was watching behind the scenes, they showed a sample from the script. He's credited as Enormous Man.
Really?
He's the one that goes, "You're in hell, rich man."
And I'm the devil.
Because no
You're
matter
not the devil.
no matter
You're just practice.
Yeah, you're just practice.
So good.
Because no matter where Bruce Wayne goes, people will recognize him. Might be an issue for the
I
third
think it's
film.
just
But
because
anyway,
he was like a white man in
Yeah.
in that prison that they were like,
That-
nobody
yes.
noticed that he was
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, but so good, dude.
so yeah, he kicks the shit out of all of them. The fighting scenes in this, a little shaky, which was the style at the time with Jason Bourne. They justified it. They're like, yeah, we want it like when Batman attacks, like people are confused and whatnot. I'm like, that's fine for some of the Batman scenes.
But all of them. Were
All
like
the
that.
fight scenes were
Yeah.
real shaky, which sucks because like when the camera does slow down a bit, they're doing cool shit.
yeah, I mean,
He did like all this crazy fight training.
Yeah.
They fixed it in the next two. They
Yes.
went with more fluid
Yes.
camera movements. in
There's
the next
definitely a lot of fights I wish I saw clear.
It
Yes.
just Rises looks horrible with some of their fight scenes.
one. You
Dude.
shut your mouth.
Sorry,
Okay.
I know it's your film.
Definitely.
Shut
the worst.
your
There's
mouth.
multiple people
absolutely-
that fall on their own.
Absolutely.
They
the worst
were
one out
scared. They were pretending to get
No.
knocked out.
Oh, okay.
So Batman wouldn't really punch them, you idiot. Anyway.
there. Every single extra actor in that movie was horrendous and ruined the movie.
No, there's this.
Oh,
what is
well,
it?
I'm
The
sorry.
stadium scene.
I'm
I
sorry,
think?
what did
There's
you
this one
say?
guy.
Thank you.
There's this one
Thank
guy.
you.
He's in a red shirt, yellow
Yes.
bandana. He might have even been Robin in the film.
If I
Weird.
knew what the twist was at the end of the film, I would have said he was Robin. But anyway, so yeah, he kicks the shit out of all of them. It's a cool way to introduce him being a total badass.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Then they throw him in a cell, solitary, and he
Yes.
meets Ducard, played by Liam Neeson, who speaks for Raz al. They roll the R for this one. Raz al. No one says his name. It's Ra's al. I don't care because whenever I read it, I always said Raz, even though I knew it was Ra's.
Yeah.
But Liam Neeson goes Raz al Ghul.
Wow.
I think everyone else says Raz.
Everyone says Raz.
Some lady at the end goes Raz al
Raz
Ghul, and I'm like,
al
that's
Ghul.
just way off.
Yeah, I think they
When-
play with it a little
When
bit.
did the true pronunciation come out?
In the cartoon and
Just
stuff.
in-
Well,
that's-
the way they
was that
spell
the first
it
time they actually say it in the cartoon?
in the cartoon, they say
You
Ra's.
say Raish. Yeah.
I watched a video years ago that said like technically both are acceptable. The creators call him Ra's. That's apparently how it's pronounced, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, it changes through the years. He's immortal.
Yeah.
So what?
So they tell Ducard tells him like, "Hey, we know who you are. We know what you're doing. You're looking for justice and stuff. We want to recruit you for the League of Shadows."
Not the League of Assassins.
Which actually, I read the original story arc. They sold this last year. They make these big versions of the classic storylines, and it's called something else initially. It becomes the League of Assassins.
Yeah.
But for the film, they call it League of Shadows. Now it goes back and forth. Gotham
Yeah.
said League of Shadows.
Yeah.
Arrow said League of
I
Assassins.
mean, I think for this one they went League of Shadows because he wouldn't join something that's League of Assassins. Like
'Cause they have
he
to
wouldn't be an assassin.
the idea is like
Yeah.
they think of themselves as the good guys.
They
and
do,
Assassins has
which
a negative
bothers me.
connotation. Yeah.
That plot bothers me in this movie. That's the one thing that kind of gets
Well,
me.
bad
But we'll
guys
talk
don't
about it.
realize they're bad guys sometimes, Crystal.
I know that.
It's like
I
the
know
best part.
Anyway, but yeah, he tells him he works for
This first like 30
But,
minutes
like,
is like
I'm not
in
saying
love.
this. I'm not saying this part specifically.
Or later.
But you're saying like the League of
The League of, what
Shadows
they're
and
doing,
what they
the fact that
they sack Rome.
him trying to join. I mean, we're obviously going to get to this point, but
Yeah. No,
them
please go
asking
off,
at
girl.
the end, like, why wouldn't you spend how many years training this guy?
Yeah.
And then you
They
ask
really
him?
should have given him a pamphlet this time.
Because like now you just created
I do
another
like-
weapon.
Hey, so our old
Just
name
saying.
used to be League of Assassins.
Yeah.
Would you be
Just
okay
let
with
it
We
go.
that?
rebranded. We rebranded. I do like that Bruce Wayne is aware of them. Like they're known in this universe. He's like, oh, vigilantes. He's like, oh no, vigilantes or whatever. He's like,
Yeah.
if you
But-
become more than just a man.
But
you
it was
become
like
something
such
else entirely.
good time is like right timing, right place for him. Like
Yeah.
if he was anywhere else in the world, like the fact that he happened to be right there.
Maybe they like guided him that way. Maybe like they pulled some
They
strings
knew
to.
Well, we
Right.
find out
What?
way later that they are inadvertently responsible or indirectly responsible.
for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But for him, they
maybe.
didn't.
There's a
It
reason
just happened to be like really good timing, really good place
Yeah.
for them to happen to see him, to happen to bring him along, to happen to.
he happened to be in
It's
a
a
prison that was
movie.
close enough to their headquarters.
We are literally reviewing and picking apart. We have picked apart so many other movies, and just because it's a movie that you are absolutely obsessed with doesn't mean we don't have the right. I know.
Does this mean that I'm
The fact-
obsessed?
What? What are you doing?
I've never seen. That's
Have
what
you
I was
never
going to
seen
point out.
that?
I've
No?
never seen you in shorts.
I've never seen that.
I've never seen you in shorts.
Frank has a
Guys.
tattoo of the bat symbol saying, "Why do we fall?"
That's what I want to point out. I've never seen you in shorts, or at
So
least
we
that
can learn
short.
to pick ourselves up, Mr. Wayne.
You don't have the answer tattooed. It's going to confuse
No,
anyone
I
who
don't,
hasn't
because
seen
you know,
Just on
and
his
everyone's
ass.
always like, "Why do we fall?"
it. Someone's
And
going
I'm
to be like, "Why do we fall?" Is it because bats are after us? I don't understand that guy's tattoo.
because we lost balance. I'm confused.
Bats
Is that
don't fall,
older?
dude. They fly.
They glide. Anyway. So yeah, he tells him like, "Hey, we want you to join us. You need to go to this place and find a blue flower, and then meet us at our monastery."
Yeah, I was here.
Yeah.
So where they shot this, they shot it in Iceland.
Okay.
Oh, that's really cool.
And last February, we went to Iceland for a week, and highly recommend it if anyone likes.
wanna go
Like
real
if you
bad.
like hiking trips or like traveling from town to town. I think we did like 6 towns over the course of like 7 or 8 days.
Oh, that's cool.
And we did like the glaciers and this where they shot all of this on like their fight on the ice and his travels like on the road and up the mountain and all that. Did all that, was there and took
Send me those
and-
pictures.
I know I have to
I will
resend them to
include them here.
I sent them to you when I was there. I was like, dude,
It's
guess
been a
where I
while.
am.
Send them
I know,
again
I'll
so I
send
can
them
include
again.
them here.
But like right where they fought on the ice, you can actually see. Like I pulled up a picture from the movie, the clip of the movie, and it was literally like right.
That's
Like,
awesome.
it was so cool, man.
That's
I was
awesome.
like, oh, especially with the tattoo on my leg. I was like, oh my god, I'm in love.
He
My wife was like, okay, get in the fucking car, let's go.
he gets the blue rose, and now, out of the 3 films I've seen that involve blue roses, this is one of the good ones.
It's not a rose.
Blue
Kissed
flower.
by the
You know what I mean?
rose on the way.
It's a blue rose.
It's not a blue rose.
It's a blue rose.
And Seal sings during this scene.
There's 3 movies with blue roses: Batman Begins, Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, and Lindsay Lohan's I Know Who Killed
Are
Me.
you sure it's a rose?
It's not a rose.
Whatever.
It's a
Just-
tool.
I'm doing a fucking joke. Just
do
go
it,
with it.
bitch.
I'm making fun of a Lindsay Lohan
It
movie.
doesn't work.
Let me do
the
the
joke
bit.
doesn't. Tony, you do jokes that don't work. Calm down.
He comes across a village, and there's a nice man there that's like, "You got to turn back. I don't know why you're here, but you better turn
Yeah,
back."
Go, turn back now.
And he enters the monastery after climbing all the mountains and everything. And he's like, "I'm here." He meets Raz al Ghul, who doesn't talk much. He just sits there because Ken didn't really master English yet. He has gotten better in the recent years.
I didn't realize it was him at first.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. Not to spoil too much, but everyone kind of called the twist ahead of time, but I didn't have it confirmed by the time I saw this.
Yeah.
So I went into this thinking he was still Raz al Ghul.
I don't remember. I don't know if I like even thought of it or not.
I think some people kind of guessed it, but like Raz al Ghul is like Middle Eastern usually.
Yeah.
Or depicted as Middle
Yeah.
Eastern, so they went
Yeah.
Asian with him, and that kind of threw me off. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever.
I think like by the time like I saw this movie so many times that like I couldn't even tell you the first time I watched it. I have no idea my first reaction or anything. Like rewatching this again, I haven't gone through the trilogy in years.
Yeah.
So like rewatching all of this again just like it brought me back. I was like, oh my god, this is so good.
But yeah, I was expecting him to be.
Is that too much? Am I too much?
No. Perfect.
I was expecting him.
Passion.
Okay.
Perfect.
I did think it was weird that they picked this character to be in the realistic movie, the guy who takes magical bubble baths to come back to life. But they figure out a clever way around it. So yeah, he tells him like, "I'm here. I brought the flower." And he's just like, "All right, are you ready to begin training?" And he's like, "What? No." And they just kick the shit out of him.
Get him.
I love that.
Death does not wait for you to be ready.
Death waits for no one.
Yeah, and he tells him, he's like, "You're afraid," but not only he's like, "What do you fear?" And then we get a flashback to the cult leader from Mandy. That's his dad. You're seeing Mandy with Nicolas
Oh.
Cage, right? Thomas
I
Wayne.
love that movie.
Thomas Wayne is the cult leader in Mandy.
Is he?
So now I feel weird knowing I've seen Batman's dad's dick in a movie. I don't like that. I really don't like that. I've seen
Why not?
Batman's dad's
Is it
dick.
nice?
That's great.
Huh?
Is it nice?
I don't remember.
Is he hanging?
I just know that I've seen it. Mandy's awesome. Check out Mandy.
Is it
Mandy
swinging
is
low?
really fucking good.
Is it? I haven't seen it.
It's awesome.
I'm gonna watch it now.
So yeah, he picks up Bruce. And he's nice to him, actually, real quick. Oh God.
Anything nice?
So in this one, he's like, hey, Bruce, are you okay? In the comic, he goes, idiot. I told you never go off alone. Didn't I? He repeats that.
It's also
Love that.
Hold on. And then the mom goes, Thomas, he's frightened. And he goes, he damn well ought to be.
little bitch.
Love that.
So they left that part out.
And they
of the
jump
movie.
him there too.
There we go.
This is where he says, "Why do?"
Yeah,
we
he
fall?"
brings him home, and he goes, why do we fall? And he's like, so we can learn to pick ourselves back up.
Not back, just up.
Pick ourselves up?
Pick ourselves
You
up.
didn't say back up?
No, I always used to say it, and then I was like, I rewatched, and
Famous
then when I rewatched
misquote.
it this
Famous
week,
misquote.
yeah, I was like,
Oh,
fuck,
yeah.
man, yeah. What's it called? The whatever
Mandela effect?
Yeah,
I don't know if it's
always said
Mandela
back
effect,
up,
but
no,
yeah,
no,
people.
someone changed
It's
it.
like play it again,
Someone went back.
Sam, or Luke, I am your father. So Thomas tells Bruce, he's like, those bats attacked you because they were scared. He's like, they were scared of me? And he's like, yeah, all creatures feel fear, especially the scary ones. I mean, there's some living organisms that don't have brains that probably don't feel fear, but let's not.
Have you
pick
ever
those
tried to kill a
apart.
spider? Do you know what it does when you try to kill it? What does a spider do when you try to kill it?
Runs away.
Freezes.
It runs. You know
I've
why?
seen other ones like.
I'm saying like plants are
Even
alive; they don't
spiders
feel fear. His dad then shows him the pearls he got for his mom,
Yeah.
who has no lines of dialogue in
No,
this film, and
not
is
at
not a
all.
character. He doesn't really mention her again until the third film when
Yeah.
the pearls come back into play,
There's really no strong women characters through this.
which is why I love this movie, Frank. Anyway,
I guess Katie Holmes is kind of.
Wow, that's your. Yeah.
the one we
in
allowed just
distress.
just the one is allowed.
And we'll make it like
Not
Katie
of all
Holmes.
of them. Not of all of them.
So yeah, they take the monorail. The Gotham has a big monorail system
Yeah.
for this movie that the Waynes built because Gotham is going through a depression at the
yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
And they have the money to do it. So he's like, yeah, so we built this rail system and it gets routed through our tower. This ends up being a bad idea.
It's kind of like a Chekhov's gun, right?
Yes. And they take the train to show that they're one of the people. They're actually
I-
helping Gotham.
I like that scene a lot because they're showing they really explain to him that we are privileged. We are this, and there are so many people that are not,
And
and
all I
you
could-
don't see that often.
And all I could think
Turn
about
around and
is
help
in,
others.
Yeah.
in real life, as someone who's been on the subway a lot in New York, this conversation would be happening and there would be a black teen doing backflips while a crazy guy raps about Jesus.
Not pisses in the corner.
And sometimes pisses in the corner. During this
Seen that
scene, he's
one.
like, well, son, we built this to help
Yeah.
Gotham. And then a homeless guy would come in screaming at himself, ready to punch people. And then a guy would spit on a floor for no. These are all things
Thomas
I've
Wayne's-
seen on the subway.
Thomas Wayne's like,
That's
son.
only like a 10% of what actually happens on the subway.
Thomas is like, son, this is why we help people like this. And then he gets pissed on. Oh, no.
Never mind, son. We're canceling the rail system.
Next thing you come,
We're not-
guy to juke at a boombox comes in, starts breakdancing. You're like, what the
What
fuck
is
is happening?
happening?
Upside down.
Thomas is like, we're not going to the Broadway, to the opera show tonight. And then they live. That's a bum pissing on him with a radio. It saved his life.
So yeah, we get to see all of Gotham, and they did some really cool stuff. It's a little dated now, but like they filmed like real cities and then mapped the train into it.
Very cool.
So yeah, they go to an opera that I forgot to write the name of. Has a very complicated name.
But it means.
Oh, I don't remember.
It means bad in.
Yes,
whatever
it has a lot of
is.
bat imagery in it.
Yeah.
This is the only one that ever did the opera origin. Every other time it's a movie theater.
I love the opera.
Yeah, but I mean, we've seen the movie
do too.
theater so many times. As long as he goes to some theater screening, I'm fine.
I think the opera fits it better. I just
Really?
think I think the opera fits the sophistication of the parents. I think it's trying to educate the child not only of what is happening and here are the arts, and I think it fits well.
It makes sense,
I
but
agree.
also like Mask of Zorro, when they do the theater ones, it's Mask of Zorro, so it's like that's a cool connection as well.
Well, that's different.
yeah.
I
Well,
feel.
yeah, no, but like both of them work. I agree with you with the opera one, but I'm also privy to the Mask of Zorro when he goes to see that, and they all die outside. And he couldn't.
In
save his
Snyder's,
parents.
it was.
I couldn't save my parents.
Wait,
In Snyder's, it was
Batman doesn't save his parents?
Excalibur.
Doesn't save his parents.
What? Batman's parents are dead?
Martha?
What?
No, yeah, in Snyder's, they go see the movie Excalibur, which
Is that right?
Which
Excalibur.
I like.
That's
but
right,
it's a
yeah.
weird fucking movie to throw in there.
Huh.
But yeah, he gets scared of the bats. Thomas should have known. Like,
I was
oh
gonna
wait,
say.
what's in this play? Bats?
Bats. Yeah.
Maybe we don't bring Bruce tonight.
Or even like when the bats happen, they're just sitting there like oblivious, and the kid's like, "What the fuck?
So,
This just happened."
So maybe he is a dick. Maybe,
Yeah,
he is like,
a dick.
my son's an idiot. Let's take him and scare the shit out of him.
So Bruce has a panic attack, and he's like, "All right, let's leave." And instead of leaving through, I don't know, a lobby that
Why?
leads to the front door, they
That
go
I'm-
out
okay,
of
please.
the.
Mister, this movie is the most perfect.
They
thing
go
in the
out of a
world.
fire
Okay,
exit.
okay, listen.
Please.
Because he's such a billionaire, they probably pay the guys to slip in through the front and the back door, or to slip in through the back door to not make a scene and cause commotion. And paparazzi's out front, and they're like, Mr. Wayne, but really he sneaks out the back.
They did.
Where Alfred is with the car, that's the fucking
Yeah,
problem.
yeah.
Don't you dare come
Like-
after me.
So they leave, and Joe.
They know what the fuck is
I know it's
happening.
stupid, but you need to go down Murder Alley, okay? Crime Alley.
They run into Joe Chill, who is Joe Chill, not
Yeah.
Joe Chill plus the Joker.
Not Jack Napier.
Not Jack Napier. Played by what's his name, Richard Brake, who's in a ton of horror films
Yeah.
these days. The year this came out, he was also in Doom, starring The Rock. I met him
was
a
he?
few years ago. I'm sorry, Joker fan and Mega Bat Friend
Oh
met
my
him
God.
years ago, and Mega Bat Friend asked him to kill his stepdad.
Oh God.
We got him to. He thought it was the funniest thing in the world.
Oh dear Lord.
In Batman Begins, you killed Batman's parents.
I did.
Do you have any openings next weekend? I'd like something to happen to my stepfather.
I'm free all weekend.
He's the creepiest looking guy in the world.
Oh.
But yeah, it's the classic scene, tries to get the pearls.
Yeah.
For some reason, Thomas really cares about
Jumps.
the pearls. And he shoots them.
Well, he moved the gun at the wife.
Yeah.
And Martha.
So he shoots them both, and then he leaves Bruce there, and Thomas is like, Bruce, don't be afraid.
Afraid.
So, is
And-
this your favorite one of like the reasoning of them shooting the parent? Like, I feel like it's been played so many different times
So-
in different ways.
So not my favorite movie, just my favorite way of how they kill them.
Yeah.
I really like the imagery. Don't kill me. I really like the imagery for BVS, like the way that they do it, the gun with the pearls and the click back, and
Yeah.
that kind of that whole setup and that whole scene of it is with the music playing over. It's very beautifully done.
Yeah.
But this one's very hard hitting. I mean, other than what else? I mean, what else do you have for it? Batman Forever, where they slightly show
A
it
little
there?
bit. Batman 89,
Batman
they show
89
pretty
does
much all
it.
of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, I mean, at the time.
And who can
this is
forget
probably my
Joker,
favorite.
where they shoehorn that into the film? Remember that?
I don't want to talk about it. Should we sing about it?
It just feels very different every time it's shown.
Yeah, I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to do it. Like, I think that's why Snyder did it more artsy and with
Yeah.
music playing over it. Because he's like, well, we've seen this, but let me still
Yeah.
show it briefly over the credits.
And then the last movie, they just skipped over it. They're like, everyone fucking knows.
yeah, I mean, you don't have to do. I mean, even when they do the next one in the DCU with this awesome Superman movie coming out soon, it's like they don't need to show it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go to Crime Alley and drop some roses, maybe.
So they're dead. Bruce goes to the police station. We meet a young Gordon who comforts him, puts the coat around him.
Sergeant, right?
And that, yeah, you think he's
Yeah,
sergeant. Or
He's
Wait,
not
he got-
lieutenant yet.
He's
he becomes lieutenant. at the
Becomes
end.
lieutenant.
yeah, he becomes lieutenant.
Sorry,
that's
he might
fine.
even just be an officer.
I think he might
at
just
this
be.
point.
Yeah, you might be correct.
Yeah, and then we
So
see
good.
Commissioner Loeb, very different than the comics. I think at this point, I think in the next movie, there's characters in the next movie that resemble comic characters, but they give them different names.
Yeah.
Because Loeb in the comics, one, he's a white guy, but he's also like super He's also super corrupt and an asshole.
Yeah.
And this Loeb has nothing to do with that Loeb. I
he's a good
think
man.
they just threw it in because they knew people would recognize.
Yeah, no Harvey Bullock.
No Harvey. There's a guy in the next one who's like Harvey Bullock.
Yeah, I know.
The next one shows all the corrupt. It's interesting because
Yeah.
what do we say? It's a year apart.
Yeah.
And the fact that
Yeah, well, I
so many
know.
more cops
Yeah.
are so corrupted in the next one.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because wouldn't most of those also already be cops in this one?
Yeah,
like
maybe.
that corruption is like nowhere except
Yeah.
for the
No,
one.
no, it's
except
in
for
here.
the one.
It's
Except
in
for the
here.
one.
Yeah.
The one.
It's implied there's more.
It's implied that like
Gordon
there's
mentions
no
there's
one
more.
you can trust. Like he doesn't know
No,
who he can trust through any of these.
Yeah.
So, but this scene, whenever I see this beginning scene, now I always just think of that line. It's as it's as good as a policeman putting a coat over a little kid just to comfort him after his parents just
That's
died.
from Rises.
It's so
The one I was in.
like. That line is so good in
Yeah.
that film.
Yeah.
And
but
when they
like
cut back
when
to it,
you
yeah.
watch it now, you're just like that's all you think of. You're like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's the beginning. Batman's about to fucking begin.
Yeah. But the kid actually is really freaking good in this scene because
Yeah,
he's
he was
like he
good.
doesn't
Yeah.
even like
Yeah.
he's not crying. He's not
He's about to
any-
cry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's like still in shock.
Shock. I mean,
Yeah.
also like the Loeb comes in right after this and goes, "So great news,
We got him."
the guy." Where it's like, what? My parents are fucking dead, dude.
Yes, they're dead. We get to see their funeral. Rucker Hauer plays Mr. Earl, the guy who runs Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah.
Of course, Rucker Hauer's in a lot of films, horror movies. He's the original Hitcher, and he is what's his face? He's the head replicant in Blade Runner.
Oh yeah,
He's the like tears in the rain.
Nolan
Time
made
to die. Blade Runner's good.
Bravo.
Sorry.
Man, your
Nolan-
impressions and acting today.
Nolan made the whole cast and crew watch Blade Runner before this because he wanted that same
What?
kind of vibe
I didn't know.
to go through this film. Yeah, with the kind of the futuristic realism, the sci-fi realism
Yeah.
kind of feel with it. So it's
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So yeah, Bruce cries to Alfred. He's like, "It's my fault." And Alfred like reassures him, like, "No, it wasn't your fault. It was him and him alone." But Bruce still feels guilty that he couldn't do anything. So then it cuts to them on a glacier fighting while we get a little montage of ninja stuff. He's learning different ninja skills. The
Love
cool
these
thing
scenes.
about this is when they're on the glacier, it was melting in real life.
Yeah.
They didn't have time to do
Really?
they didn't have time to do like a full rehearsal. So they were like, we just got to get on the ice and
get
shoot
it.
this. So like I guess they started with all the wide shots, but apparently like, as they were filming it, like it was just melting more and more.
the next day it cracked.
Yeah.
Really? Holy shit.
Yeah. So yeah, this is a really good scene. And I like that they show that the gauntlets are what will become Batman's
Yes.
gauntlets. It's like
That is
the
great.
League has special branded gauntlets.
Very cool to show that.
Yes.
Love this scene where he gets him and he's like, "You've sacrificed your footing, Mr. Wayne."
Yeah, always you never learn to mind your surroundings.
Yeah.
That's like a theme here.
Little place.
But he tells him it's like your parents' death wasn't your fault. It was your father's.
Because he was
And
a
he's
coward.
like,
Yes.
he didn't have training. He's like, training's half of it. The will is everything.
So well.
Yeah.
It's so good. These little scenes
know.
like this. You're like, it just makes you want to go out and do something.
Yeah. So fight
What did
crime.
you do after you
Like go to the gym or go get something.
I went to
done
the
or, like,
gym
do
today,
something.
Frank.
Like I don't know. It's just like it makes
You're
you
right. I
just-
want to go to the gym again. Let's go.
Let's pump iron. Like I was working out a lot. Whoa!
Listen, you have a goddamn Discord that says Fat Shame Tony, okay? I just
We're not in the
roll.
Discord right now, you bitch. We're recording a Batman Begins
This is why
review.
I'm such a good friend, okay?
He's in the Discord.
So Ducard mentions his backstory.
Yeah.
He had a family and a wife. We'll learn more about them later on.
Think he had a kid?
He should say, I have a kid. You'll meet her. I hope you don't have sex with her. Her boyfriend's kind of a dick. Anyway, so he's just like, yeah, I had a family and I lost them. And Bruce is like, okay, what helped you get over that? He goes, vengeance. And Bruce is like, all right, well, about that. That's not an option. And then we flash back
Again.
to college-aged Bruce Wayne returning to
It's like he
Gotham.
passes. He can pass for like a 19-year, 20-year.
Yeah, something like that.
They just put the hair in front
That's
of
why I
his
said
face.
college age.
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on. Is that? Hold on.
Oh, you need a haircut.
Oh my
You
God,
do
dude!
this.
15 years, right off you.
If we go to the bar tonight, will I get carded if I go like this?
No, you just look 65 instead of 75.
Whoa!
Okay, so Bruce is back at Gotham.
Hey, it's a compliment. You look younger.
For Joe Chill's hearing, we learned that Rachel is now working for the DA, or she will work for the DA. I
And
think
also
she's still
banging
early.
the DA.
Not the only one. She will do that too. Actually, we learned. But yeah, so Bruce is annoyed. Well, first he gets in an argument with Alfred He's like, this place is like a mausoleum. I forgot to mention, I think the mansion they shot Wayne Manor in is the mansion from Eyes Wide Shut, the crazy
Really?
sex orgy mansion.
Really?
But they said
Nice.
they liked the inside of it because it was all white, and they're like, it looks like a mausoleum already.
Yeah.
So like, let's own that
Yeah.
motif. So when they go there, put white curtains over all the white ground. But yeah, he's just like, this place is a mausoleum. I'll tear it down. And Alfred's like, could you not? Your family worked really hard on this, and I worked for them. You
Yes.
asshole.
I love Alfred in this scene
Yeah.
because he says the line back saying something about like, oh, but you're not even family.
Yeah.
And
He's like,
I love that when that shows up in different movies in Batman
Yeah.
because it shows how Bruce Wayne at that time was such a little prick and doesn't understand, or at least he's trying to hide it, his love for Alfred and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I mean,
It's him still like,
it's that teenage
it's-
aggression.
yeah, it's
that
still
he is.
putting that hard cover on. It's like not letting go still.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Alfred will always be there and be his
will-
father. Still having,
still haven't given up on me.
never.
Love
We
it.
have
No
this
matter
whole
how
movie
shitty.
memorized.
Never.
I don't like that. We could never, Frank. We could never do a commentary track for this because we'll just quote the whole movie in order.
We'll take characters, man. We'll just run back and forth.
So yes, he meets with Rachel, and he's annoyed with her. He's happy to see her again because
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh, you're hot now."
Yeah.
But he's annoyed that her boss wants to
Sex is
get
cool.
her boss wants to get Joe Chill out of jail. And Bruce is like, why? It's like, well, he roomed with Carmine Falcone, who's the city's mob boss, and he's going to rat him out, and we're going to stop a lot of other crime for this.
Don't fuck with the Falcones.
And then we see he has a gun. He's planning something. He's like, I'm going to
Yeah.
go this here, and I'm going to give Joe Chill a piece of my mind. And by that, I mean a gun
Oh God.
or a bullet from a gun.
he's gonna throw his
There's
life
multiple
away.
bullets in there.
So he refuses to speak during the hearing. Joe Chill seems sad. Later on, Falcone accuses him of being a dick, but we don't know for sure. It could be he was struggling. Everyone was poor. It could be, he was strung out on something.
I think
Maybe he really
I
is
think He
sorry.
was just trying to egg him on.
Yeah, we
Not
don't.
egg on, or
Yeah.
Bruce.
But Joe Chill is like, it doesn't change what I done. I messed up.
There's not a day that I don't think about what I've done.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So they let him go. And before Bruce can kill him, an assassin shows up. Some lady.
Some woman,
Yeah.
in high heels.
Strongest woman in this movie.
This is for Falcone.
Probably.
It's so yeah.
Falcone's
strong woman, right?
Falcone
there.
says hi, bang.
Falcone says hi. That's it. Yep.
Which was what was that? That was it reminds me of Lee Harvey Oswald getting killed.
Yeah.
What was it? Jack Ruby who
Same
shot
kind of
him.
feel. Yeah. so
It
good.
reminded me of the scene from The Godfather 2 where Hyman gets shot at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, she comes in like Falcone says hi. So now Bruce can't have vengeance.
Oh, you don't have to watch this. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so
But he doesn't get
that was
he
really
didn't get to have personal vengeance.
he
He'll
couldn't-
never get to have it. Someone robbed him of
yeah,
that.
he'll never have to go to jail.
So now he's going to spend the rest of his life doing vengeance that he'll never have.
So he's very narrow focused, and I like Rachel's like, you got to think outside your world. So she drives around like the recession still is going on. They
I
hit
like
it.
this, that all of a sudden she just does a cut.
Yeah.
You
and
think
goes
she can
down.
drive like that?
Yeah,
that just
she's
kinda
like,
came out
she's
of
like,
nowhere.
hey, look
I
what's
love
underneath
that.
Gotham. Like, it just got moved and ignored. People are still really, really hurting, and Falcone is taking advantage of all of them. Like, sorry, your parents got shot, but like, there's bigger crimes happening that we need to
Yeah.
solve.
Grow up.
A lot of people are suffering.
Being a little bitch.
Yeah.
And then he mentions
He
that he
is.
was gonna kill. He was gonna kill Joe Chill, and she slaps him. He has the gun. He's thinking about it, and he throws the gun away. He's like, "I'm not gonna be that guy," but he's like, "I'm gonna give Falcone a piece of my
No
mind."
more guns unless they're on my Batmobile.
Yes. Well, yeah, we'll get into the issues with that. I have a take on it. Where we at
This
here?
is awesome. Yeah.
So he goes
I
to
do
meet.
like this one, yeah.
I love
Yeah,
it.
he meets Falcone, who was played by the now late Tom Wilkinson,
Yeah, rest in peace.
who I talked about recently when we did Mission Impossible 4. He's the secretary in that.
Yeah.
Who went uncredited in that movie, but then they put him in all the trailers. It's like, what was the point of uncrediting him? Anyway, he is Falcone, and I remember at the time being like, wow, Catwoman's dad, that's going to come back later. It doesn't. Not in this series anyway. He comes back in a different one.
He never shows back up again, right?
No, he's gone.
Yeah, it's-
He's gone.
yeah,
but
after
they
this
don't.
film.
They decided not to connect him and Catwoman for. the
Yeah, I
series.
wonder why they. Well, I mean, when we get to the second one, there's Maroni, Falcone.
Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully.
So yes. he's like, I'm not scared of you. He's like, you didn't think this through. And he's like, you think you have nothing to lose. And he tells him, it's like, but he didn't think about the lady. You know, he has research. He predicted a day where Bruce Wayne might fuck with him.
You didn't think about your little lady friend down at the DA's office. Or how about your old butler? Bang.
But then he teaches him.
So good.
He's like, by the way, there's a judge over there and I can do anything. It's like, because they're all afraid of me. The power of fear. Fear is like the big thing for this
That's
film.
what fear
1000%.
buys.
Yes.
Oh, dude, he kills this scene, man.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Although I don't know, was Tom Wilkinson Italian?
I don't know.
I have to look up if this is pasta.
But, like,
if he's not Italian, this is pasta face.
Wilkinson,
and I
dude?
don't support it.
It's like Irish.
You are doing pasta.
Irish, that's worse.
German? Irish?
Whoa, calm
no,
down.
German. Wilkinson?
Irish and German?
Tony, you're not even Italian. Calm down.
Worse. I am Italian, Irish, and German.
Dude, same.
No, but I'm like Pennsylvania Dutch German, okay?
Oh,
I'm not-
God.
My
Yeah, I'm
mom
not-
swears that we were Mennonites.
He gets his ass kicked by Falcone's men. They throw him out.
Does.
And then that Russian actor whose name I can't pronounce is there as the bum, who was also in Eyes Wide Shut.
Yes.
And he's like, you should have did better. And he gives the guy his money and his coat. His
I
nice
like
quote.
this scene.
You better watch out who sees you.
He's
with
like,
that. They're gonna come
everyone's going to
for
be
me.
looking for me. And then he takes off for his 7-year journey, which they mentioned a lot in the
Yeah.
comics.
I like how he just starts running too.
Yeah.
Like he's like,
Just runs
he's
to
like,
the boat.
fuck it, man. I'm going to the streets.
How long did he train for versus how long was he out on the streets for? Do
So-
we know?
So
Well, 7 years
7 years
altogether.
gone.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why I know that. But how long did he
I'd
train
imagine
for?
it's at least because Liam Neeson at one point says that he was his best soldier that he's ever trained, like one of his best men.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it had to be for like a couple of years at least.
Maybe
Yeah, I was trying to
5?
figure out how long
Streets
was
for
he on
2?
the streets versus training.
Up
But he
there for
was
5?
like the what you got?
can see that.
Oh, we covered when we did the animated one. I think I talked about the anime that takes place between Batman Begins and Dark
Yes,
Knight.
yeah.
And I think they fill in a couple other stories of
That
what
would be
happened while
cool.
he was away.
Oh,
I would like
They
to
do
see
it.
that.
They did it a lot in the animated series. He would meet someone from his past, and like
Yeah.
like Satana or that ninja, and then they would flashback.
I
so
mean-
just assume he did other training, but like
Yeah.
a lot of his ninja stuff
Yeah.
was specifically. These
Well, I
guys.
figured he did some type of training or like learned how to kick ass if
Yeah.
he's in that
Yeah.
prison.
Like Arrow. Did you ever see
fighting.
Arrow? He was going for 5 years on
Yeah.
an island.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
not
like,
all
for
5 years.
And he became
years,
something else.
Yeah.
If you're trained
Someone
for
else.
5 years, you don't understand what's happening here. Like you don't realize that you're trading with a whole bunch of murderers.
I don't think. I think it was less than a year.
All the
Shut up, Crystal, it's a
conversations you
movie.
had.
I mean, they did bring in that the guy, and then
Is this the first time they've killed a criminal in front of him? Because they make it sound
Yeah,
like
then
a
it had to
normal
be
thing.
shorter. It had to be a
Yeah, it had
shorter
to be
period.
shorter. Yeah, maybe.
But look,
Right.
look, he's away for 7 years. We get to
It's
see.
a lot of
So I
training
carry
to do
on.
Really
I'm
fast.
trying to get us back on track.
Yeah, we need to move.
Listen, it's a great movie. Let me like say my pieces
No,
that
oh,
like
no,
I'm not
please,
sure
please talk.
about. Besides that, I love it.
Please.
Apparently, I can't.
You got two. Me and you have 2 other reviews to do today. All right.
Is there another one coming too?
Yeah, me and you have
No.
1 more. We have 2 more.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Final
What is
Destination
what
Bloodlines.
happened?
Anyway.
So excited.
Okay, okay. So we see some of the crimes that he did. Because he's like, did you, when you lived amongst them, did you become like them? He's like, I learned a lot of differences between good and evil when I had to like steal for food. But he mentions that he never became like a full-on
Yes.
criminal. Because when he did get arrested for stealing, he was stealing his own stuff, which I think was funny.
Yeah.
When he's like, I'm not a criminal, he's like, tell to the guy you stole these from.
these
It's like the
from?
big Wayne
Yes.
logo on it.
It's like,
But yeah, he's like, okay, I can understand the difference between like breaking the law out of like desperation versus just being an asshole. Like there is like a little gray area there.
understanding it. Yeah.
Because people, a lot of assholes on like Twitter and shit would be like, Batman just beats up poor people. I'm like, you haven't really read a Batman comic. Like maybe in the 40s, I don't know, but you haven't read one recently. Like it make plenty of like points to show like he knows like
The difference.
Yeah, he knows the
He's not
difference.
just the spoiled brat.
Some
who
rich
has
guy
no idea.
beating up poor
Yeah.
people.
Yeah, they get hung up. He's like, he beats mentally handicapped poor people. I'm like, yeah, he also fights wizards and aliens. Fuck off. So yeah,
You're not
so
wrong.
he gets ready for his final test. And he has to breathe in a strange chemical.
Blue rose.
Whoa, sorry.
So happy I was leaving.
Oh my God, sorry.
I just happened immediately.
The pipe leaked and are you okay? Is
Yeah.
everyone okay?
Oh shit. Whoa.
I hope everyone's okay. Sorry. So yeah, so he try not to breathe in this chemical.
Is there bats flying around in here?
No, you're seeing those.
Okay.
They're not real. All right, so he breathes in a strange chemical And it makes everything look weird around him. Like
Yeah.
the room starts shaking, Liam Neeson's eyes start glowing. I love the fear effect in this.
Yeah, I love the way they do it. It's
So
wonderful.
Neeson puts on the ninja gear and he blends in with the other ninjas. And like the whole point of this mission, Bruce thinks, is to find him amongst all the other ninjas.
It's really cool.
So it's cool. They keep like changing their look. And
How long do you think it took for them to choreograph this?
That's what they've been working on for a year. Yeah, just
That's
this.
what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Bruce, you're not allowed to go in there today. We're
One,
doing
two,
our
three,
test training.
turn.
So what you call it?
John left, not right.
You're out. You're out.
So yeah, what you call it? Ducard will come out and attack him
Yep.
occasionally.
Little fight, little switch back to it, and then
Yeah.
what he does here to find him or to trick him into finding him,
Yeah.
is beautiful. It's
Yes,
wonderful.
and at one point they separate and he sees a box.
yeah.
And he's like, "You got to face your fear." And he's like, "What's in this box?" Those assholes put a bunch of bats in the box.
So I don't think that they did.
No, I think they did. No,
I
they
don't
did.
think that
They
there
100%.
was a-
I don't
No,
think
no,
there
no.
was
They
bats in
100% did. They
My whole
knew.
thing is, how did they know that his
He
fear
told
was-
them.
He
He
did?
probably told
He
them.
probably told them, but
Oh, cool.
I don't
so
think
he
there
tells
was.
all his secrets and
Yeah.
they don't tell him.
Yeah.
Got it.
No. They 100% put bats in that box. It's just the fear
That's a
toxin
lot of
makes it
bats
look
to
even
put in
worse.
a
I think so.
box.
No, there's a fear bat later.
I don't
These
think
are
so.
real bats.
I
They-
don't think so.
Yes,
Why don't
it
you think
is.
so?
I agree
Wait,
to disagree.
Wait, why do
There's
you
no
think
reason to
so?
put fake bats in.
Hold on, I want to hear his reason, Tony. You're not always right.
No, because it's not potent yet. The fear toxin is this
Yes.
dialed up.
Yes.
Those
Okay.
are real bats. It's just he's tripping out when he sees the bat.
down.
I
Why
agree,
don't you
but
think
the way that I see it is they just presented a box to him and it's already put into his head that he has to face his fears, and he took this toxin so that when he goes to open it, it's still just in his head of him having to face and get rid of this fear. Like he's still imagining what he's afraid of. They're not actually throwing bats at him the way that I just see it. I mean, you
No,
could see it any other way. Yeah,
I think
I understand.
I will
get
give
it.
you there is a fake bat later, but I think these
Yes.
are real bats.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
why do you think it's not the gas? The poison?
Because it's not weaponized. It's
not
not
like-
the extreme version
It's
the
not
Scarecrow
fully
used.
potent.
no, but
he's
he's not
saying.
also, it's not like he's just kind of,
It's just I
out of
think it's
it.
just
But it
making him
is.
on edge and making everything look weird. I think there
Right.
are real
Yeah.
bats in the box. They were
Yeah.
aware of his fear and he didn't know that that's would be in there.
No.
I'll give you that.
But anyway,
I still think they're not there.
at some point he gets
I
got
like that.
Yeah.
I like that better.
Yeah.
I like
That's,
I'm
it
thinking-
works
I
both
wrote
ways.
this.
Who
Yeah,
cares?
I like his way better.
I was
But,
14. I helped write this. yeah.
He gets cut on his arm and he's like, "Oh shit, he's going to know where I am." And you're right. I like that he cuts two other ninjas who don't react. I'd be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
You're not allowed to do that."
Jesus.
Ow!
He's cheating.
Ow! That's what I would not be in the League of Shadows.
Jesus, that's
you,
sharp.
you think that they would even ask you?
The League of Shadows, I'd be there for the first day where they tell you how to disappear from danger. And they're like, "Okay, Tony, tomorrow is how you fight." I'm like, "Nah, I learned all I
Yep.
needed to know."
Ducard's talking to Bruce Wayne, and instead of like waiting for Ducard to tell him to like drop from the ceiling, Tony just falls onto his back.
I would love to see Tony.
Not
training
yet,
to be
dude.
a ninja.
So I love Ducard gets him.
Ninja
and,
training,
and he's
let's
just
go.
like,
Ninja Tony.
"You shouldn't have left any mark." And he goes, "I haven't," because he snuck up behind him. It was a cool fake out. This impressed Raz al Ghul.
Still haven't learned to mind your surroundings.
Yeah. He got him. But it impresses Raz al Ghul, who's in the movie.
Yeah.
You forgot after that one scene. You're like, "Oh, right. There's like a
There's that
terrorist
guy."
leader
Yeah.
who's like a very big character from the comic. I forgot he was in this."
Why is he not training him?
And they're ready to initiate him into the League. They get like the hot iron ready for him. They're gonna brand him and everything.
Let's do it.
But first, he has to execute a criminal that they mentioned earlier.
Huh?
And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not a killer." And like, "No, you're gonna do it."
Nope.
And it's just like, you have to kill a person, and if you don't, then we can't pick you to go to Gotham. And Bruce is like,
Nope.
"Sorry, what did that guy say about Gotham?"
That ain't me, babe.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, apparently the League, the thing that they do." Yeah, he says, "That ain't me, babe." Apparently the thing that the League does that we hear from Raz, which the first few times I watched this movie, I went, "What did he say?"
How do you not watch your movies on subtitles?
Well, in 2005 in the theater,
Yeah,
I couldn't.
yeah,
There wasn't
do that.
necessarily an option to put.
Can you
subtitles.
rewind this?
You watched it 5 times in the theater?
What? No, I said in 2005 in the theater. I
You said
couldn't.
you watched first 5 times. is
No,
what
I saw this
Two
one
times.
twice. I saw this one twice. So yeah, he says the League of Shadows.
Sorry.
Get closer to your mic, by the way. I noticed you're leaning again.
Everyone else say that I'm too loud.
The League's main thing, their primary function is to go to cities that are full of corruption and destroy them.
Yeah.
And Gotham is next on the list.
Sacked
Its time
Rome.
has come. Well, they say that later.
Ah.
They mention the cities
Is
later,
there
but
yeah. Oh, yeah.
oh no, do they?
I don't know. I forget which part.
No,
that
they
is.
did.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
mentioned it later.
Yeah, yeah.
They mentioned it later. But yeah, Raz is like, we chose you as Gotham's favorite son to destroy Gotham. We thought it'd be fun. We thought it'd be like a cool, ironic thing.
Isn't this funny?
Isn't this funny? Oh, guess what? Your favorite guy's gonna blow you up.
He's
then,
back.
And then Bruce. And I realized when I watch it now, I'm like, oh yeah, Bruce has like no scenes with Raz. So I like that Bruce looks at Henry. He's like, are you buying this shit? And Henry's
Yeah.
like, oh no, that guy's the reason we're all here. We worship him. We will do literally anything he
Whatever he
says.
says,
Yeah.
really.
And
Give him
Bruce
my
is like,
life.
look, I'll fight men like this. And it's like, no, there's no fighting. Gotham's corrupt. It's time to burn it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shadow government kind of feel. It brings in like kind of a realism of,
Yeah.
of like the world. It's kind of cool.
What they're doing, though, I mean, their plan that you find out later, it's just going to cause more corruption within the city, though, which causes more crime. What they're trying to stop.
They're trying to just destroy it altogether. You have to let something burn to rebuild. You have to completely burn it to the ground to rebuild it.
You don't think just the criminals would just
But
get worse.
sometimes,
Like, it
Crystal, sometimes they make it worse because, see, they burned down Rome and got rid of Romans, and now they have Italians. They didn't think that one through.
but the whole
technically
thing is,
are
like, with the
Italians.
whole, with the poison and stuff like that, they're just, I feel like they're just making it
They're
worse than letting it
They do it
burn.
different ways.
They're letting it tear itself apart.
Yeah.
I mean, like, like that's the.
I feel like it just
the
creates
point.
more criminals.
But what do you
more
want them to do? Just make
Crystal,
a
they're
bomb and
terrorists.
just blow
They-
the whole entire thing up?
Yes,
They tried in the
that's how you
third.
do it.
They have it.
That's how you do it. See, it took a while for them to learn.
It's almost
But
more
you're
like
trying
they
to
want to
destroy
just cause
Gotham, you don't
disaster than
create
really
the
get their
crime.
message across.
Yes.
No one ever learns their lesson.
They will-
If they were effective the first time they burned a city, people would have been like, oh, we shouldn't be assholes.
But like the world will also watch it in fear to where
Yeah.
the rest of the world will not act that way. So you'll just have this, chaos in this short moment in Gotham, and then they'll
You don't
come in,
think
they'll
that
clean it all
chaos
up.
would then create chaos throughout the world?
No, it's
I mean,
supposed,
when
it's
you
supposed
see
to have them
chaos,
watch in fear to,
Yeah.
to not do it anywhere else, to want to clean up the rest of the. When I'll give you this,
I feel like
when,
fear is contagious, and people kind of act out on fear because they're like, "Oh fuck, that's happening there.
Okay.
What happens if it happens
I'll
here?"
give you an idea.
Yeah.
So when 9/11 happened,
Yeah.
the world came together. Like
Wow.
not the whole world, but the
Wow.
country, but the country was forced to
Because
come
of that-
together.
yeah.
Like everyone like walking around back then. I mean, I was younger, but like everyone was like, together and wanting to help each other and wanting to be nice, and it kind of brought people a little bit closer, even though it was very
And this
traumatic.
is post
Maybe
9/11,
like-
so they
But like-
probably
But I'm
have
saying
that
post.
mindset.
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah,
to
I'm
bring
saying
in
maybe-
something of
okay.
that same
And I
feel.
think
Then
that's also
maybe
why they made him
after-
pick terrorists to fight, because that's what was going on at
Yes.
the time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's kind of mimicking the real world and like, oh, well, let's destroy something like this, and then the rest of the world will be better people because they don't want to be like
But
that.
they're
yeah, if I'm
crazy.
curious, how long would it take for that to be destroyed?
I don't know, Crystal. They're insane ninjas. They're not good at it. They're not good at it.
They are the League of
Yes. Anyway,
I'm just.
No,
Bruce.
I let's dive in, baby. Let's do
Bruce
it.
decides he's not. No, let's not dive
Yeah,
in. We
this
have a
one's
bunch
like
to
you're-
report.
We have
this
so
one's like
much
you're
to
fucking-
do.
Yeah, I get this one. Like we're like, yeah, let's discuss. Okay, I understand that point of view, but what about this? And this one's like, you're a fucking idiot, Crystal. Like, why the fuck
I
would
have
you
2
think
weeks to
that?
Why are you asking questions? Just let me say what happens.
Shut the fuck up. I am right. Let's go. Okay, Tony, calm down. Yes, you're hilarious. All your jokes land. And you are
Thank you.
always right.
I like when she asks questions.
Crystal,
He
I
doesn't.
got like a week and a half to edit this. Come on.
Oh shit!
Please, let's. Anyway,
But he could do his shit. Yeah, let's fucking get
is a
this
lot.
gas going more.
not yet. We got
It's
a
just
couple
gonna be
more
a big wide shot the whole episode. I see my fuck it.
So Bruce decides, after having the same mental struggle Crystal had with this organization, that he's not going to join the League of Assassins.
But why? What are they doing? Why would they do that?
So he
Just hope
goes
they would be
to.
smarter, okay?
He pretends that he's going to kill the guy.
Yeah.
And Batman is, or Bruce is like, I'm not a killer. I'm going to throw this hot iron into a bag of gunpowder that's going to blow up and probably kill all the ninjas, including the guy that I tried not to kill. We never see what happens to that guy. I think he blows up too.
He just can't kill them directly. Indirectly, he's fine at murdering.
Maybe he ran away. You know what's funny?
Uh-huh.
I have to play it. And if I have time, if Crystal can stop dragging the episode out, I will play the game and I'll do a review of the game because I think you actually do save that guy in the video game.
That's great.
Yeah. You also have, I think you also fight Zaz in that game.
I don't know if I played that one. I think it was Arkham.
Yeah, this is
City
before
when
Arkham.
those started.
This is
Yeah,
before
yeah,
Arkham.
yeah.
He knocks out Ducard and he has a one-on-one fight with Raz.
Yeah.
Raz is pissed at him. He's like, what the hell? My ninjas, you're killing all of them.
How'd you do?
Yeah, what?
Was that not good? Was that good?
I don't know, spot on.
Yeah, that was pretty
So
good.
they fight. I do. This is like a decent fight where they are sword fighting and things are blowing up around them.
Yeah.
The ninjas are like, ah!
They're really great.
But yeah, he kicks Raz al Ghul and a bunch of debris falls on him, killing him. That technically doesn't count as a murder. That was an accident.
Left him for dead in
There's
his
a lot
house.
of that. Batman,
Yeah.
so Bruce Wayne doesn't
Wasn't
go
his
out of his
fault.
way to murder and kill, but people die as a result of their own actions.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you didn't want to die, you probably shouldn't have gotten into a sword fight with him while
Yeah.
everything was blowing up.
While everything was burning. And
Raz had the option to
felony.
run away, and he decided to get into a sword fight.
right underneath that wood that was about to fall.
Yeah.
He just
not even
happened
his
to be there.
As a kid in 2005, I was just like, I literally was watching, and I was like, are they going to do the magical bubble bath? Is he
Yeah,
going to get in
yeah.
the magical bubble bath and come back at the end?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Lazarus Pit. I know it's the Lazarus Pit. It's a joke. Anyway.
I like magical bubble bath. The first time you said it, I was like, I like that.
So he tries to save Ducard. He tries to like get him out of there. They both fly out of the building and they fall down a hill. It was cool seeing the behind the scenes.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah,
like
how they did it.
they have the cameraman on a sled going
that's
down
really
the hill.
cool.
That was all on wires. And
Yeah.
connected and
I love when
falling
he
down.
like grabs him and he like shoves the gauntlets in and he's like, ah.
It's like Captain America with the helicopter before Captain America with the helicopter. Oh, it's so good.
So yeah, he saves Ducard. He leaves him at the village. And they're like, we'll tell him you saved your life. And Bruce is like, I'm sure he'll be very grateful when he wakes up.
Yep.
And he'll come to Gotham to thank me.
Yep.
I'm sure that's what's going through Bruce's head.
He's gonna be so happy.
There's no way he's going to go through with that plan because Ra's al Ghul's dead. That's what Bruce is
yeah.
thinking.
Yeah, technically.
He's not
yeah.
a detective yet. Anyway.
Fuck, man.
And then he goes to the airfield and he meets Alfred on his little private jet.
Yeah.
He's
Didn't
like,
you wanna
hi,
say something
Alfred.
About this?
Huh?
Didn't you want to say something about this part? We're finally
you wanna
here.
say anything about
An
the
hour
jet?
later, we got to the jet part where he gets picked up.
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I want to know. Wait, how did Alfred know?
Yes,
told
Crystal,
him.
let's dissect
told
that
him
for
that's
40
You
minutes.
called
How
him.
did Alfred actually, how did they
Where he
call
was.
it?
Where he was. Well,
How
the,
did Bruce know he didn't change his number in 7 years?
the guy's hut had a telephone, and he was like, "Hey, you mind if I use that?" Call him.
Your opinions and questions are valid.
Fuck you.
Crystal, Crystal, these are
Anything
long
you wanna
episodes.
add.
We got 2 of them.
Just shut the fuck up and stop making fun of me. Let's go.
All right. Oh, now we're dragging it out. Okay.
Sorry, I won't say anything for the rest of the
Are you rushing or dragging?
So they're on the plane, and Bruce is telling Alfred about his plan. He's like, yeah, I think we're going to fight crime. I'm going to be a symbol, so I'm uncorruptible, and
Yeah.
it's going to this. And Alfred doesn't go, what?
Yeah.
No. Oh, God, you're insane. Alfred should be like, wait. You've been hanging out with terrorists? Oh, no.
The League of what?
Instead, Alfred's like, all right, so are you going to create this persona to protect yourself or protect the people you care about?
people you care
And
about.
I like he's
Yeah.
talking about Rachel, and Alfred's like, who? No, me.
Yeah.
We also learned that
So
in
good.
between this, Bruce left everything to Alfred, and then Bruce was
Yeah.
declared dead. So they had to bring him back to life.
You can use the rolls if you want. Just bring it back with a full cast. It's so good.
It is really
Yeah, so he's back. He's back in Gotham. We get to see.
Is that just leaking over there?
Oh, sorry. God damn. Sorry. That pipe. I really should have secured it more.
Yeah, I should have found a
A
good
Batman
pipe guy.
Band-Aid did not do the job plugging that pipe. I tried my best.
Yeah, I've just been dumping gallons of stuff in it from outside. It's just been leaking in.
Anyway, we get to see Gotham, which, by the way, that whole shot is just a digital Gotham. It still looks real in 2005. That shot of all the buildings by
Really?
the water and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We get to meet our other villain, Jonathan Crane,
Yeah.
getting Victor Zsasz out of jail time. Of course, Victor Zsasz is a very famous Batman villain. He kills people and scars himself.
Yeah, and he does have
He does.
a few scars.
He's
around
some
his neck.
musician. I forget who the actor who plays him, but I think he's a musician for some band. But yeah, that's a big thing. And I think around this time, I have the comic. There was a big story arc around this time, like a 2-issue arc where Zsasz killed Alfred, but then he found out that he didn't actually kill him, so his scar technically doesn't count. So he just goes on a crazy mission to kill Alfred because he can't stand that he has a fake, like he messed up.
That's awesome.
But Zsasz went on to become a big character in the Arkham games.
Yep.
He was in the show Gotham,
Yep.
and he was in the Harley Quinn movie, Birds of Prey.
Yeah.
A very different version of Zsasz.
The Gotham one is played by the guy who's playing Metamorpho.
Yes.
In the new Superman movie, and he kills
really?
it. If you watch Gotham,
the albino
he's
guy.
really
He was
good
just
at it.
he was just in Death of a Unicorn, which we covered.
Yeah, and he's in
Yeah.
Barry, and he's wonderful.
He's good. But yeah, so he gets him out of jail, and what's her face? Rachel's just like, another Falcone hitman is suddenly insane and going to Arkham Asylum, and Crane is like the worst of it. Jonathan Crane, he's just like, I know, right? Coincidence, right? We can all agree it's just a crazy coincidence, right? You're crazy, lady. But yeah, this is Cillian Murphy. This is when he was like really coming up. This is like post 28 Days Later. He auditioned for Batman. You can see the audition tape.
He did.
Really?
Yeah, all the actors, they read with Amy Adams.
Yep.
She was like the stand-in for Rachel.
Yep.
And they wore the I believe it was the Val Kilmer sonar mask. It was one of the Val Kilmer masks.
I think so.
Yeah, so he auditioned for Batman. He didn't get the part, but they really liked him, so they picked him for Crane. He's a really
he has.
I wish
this...
they did more with this character, but like
Yes.
he looks the part, he acts the part, he's good.
I mean,
Just a little bit more, not like a crazy amount, but just
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's a good amount, but like when you go back and you watch the audition tapes that he did for it, he has this like intensity, and he's also like a little bit on the thinner side. I mean, he can bulk up just like how Christopher Reeves, like just how Christian Bale does and all that. But like he has this intensity to where when you do see him as Scarecrow, it's like, oh fuck, dude, like that's the guy. Like he's so good, man.
And then the DA tells Rachel, like, hey, you got to chill. I'm worried about you and I care about you. And she kisses him. And then Bruce Wayne is spying on them in his homeless outfit.
Creep.
Which reminds me of Year One, where he would dress up in like street clothes.
Yeah.
Wait, is this after he spoke with trying to get like?
No, not yet. I know what you're talking about.
I thought he already got some gear.
No, not yet.
No,
He's
not
about
yet.
to. He's
yeah,
about
yeah,
to.
hasn't happened.
He
yet.
just happened to have
Just
this.
came back. Yeah, I mean, he's a billionaire. You can get shit, you know.
Right
So
now,
like,
he's spying on
listening
Rachel, and then he goes back to the mansion. He's doing research on people like Gordon, and he hears the bat in the mansion. And that's when Alfred is just like, yeah, they nest somewhere. And he goes, oh, right. There was a bunch of bats in that well.
Yeah.
Let me go check out that well.
Well, that's
Where anyone
southeast
else would have been like, who fucking cares?
Who let a bat in the house?
Well, he needs a Batcave, so he's like, oh, well, let me go do where.
He's like, let me
How the
go to
hell
that
did
well
that
and look at that hole. He's had his whole life to look in that hole. I guess he was scared.
Yeah, exactly. He's
Ah!
scared.
There was a gnat in the store. I'm going to be Gnat Man.
Wow.
It's been raining.
Someone-
It's been raining
Good timing.
so much. And every time
I
it rains,
know.
bugs come in here and it drives me fucking nuts.
It's summertime, dude.
I'm just blasting this dehumidifier like whenever we're not filming. I'm like,
Yeah,
Anyway.
It's actually really fucking hot in here.
yeah, I know.
It's getting a little warm, yeah. That's
Yeah.
why I took my
can't-
pants off. You just can't see.
So yeah, he
That's
climbed.
how I got to see the tattoo.
Please.
I didn't know about
Everyone
that
join
tattoo
in.
right there.
Easy. You don't see the one between my cheeks.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyway, he climbs through the hole in the well and he enters the Batcave. And he's like, oh, wow, this place is cool. Except for the millions of bats that all swarm him.
And he stands slow.
Yeah, which they had to prove to Nolan that they could do this digitally. Like, they scanned dead bats and they look convincing enough. And they're like, thank God, because that would have
would've been
sucked to do
really
with real.
bad.
Also, bats don't quite swarm like they do in the movie, so it would have been really hard.
They're called a cauldron of bats, is when there's a lot of them.
I think so,
Cauldron?
yeah.
I think that's the word.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I remember
that's
when I was
Fun
a
fact.
Boy Scout, we went to some house near this place and we were camping and they said, yeah, at night the bats all come out of the attic and we were expecting a swarm. No, they came out like one or two at a time. And I'm like, this was you guys really oversold this.
Boy, this is scary.
I thought the sun was going to go down and all the bats would be like
Yeah.
this. Instead, it's like, oh, there's one.
we
Oh, there's another one.
we get them around here, but in Italy, like around Rome, there is tons of bats at night. Yeah. When I went,
No.
they're everywhere.
I like that.
But this is a great scene.
Good
I
thing
love
we're
bats.
reviewing a movie about bats.
Yeah.
No, you ever like? adorable.
Yeah,
Some
I
of
mean,
them.
They're like flying pop. Oh yeah, I will go with some of them. Okay,
Some of them
fine.
look like little
Some.
dogs. Other
They
ones
look
look
like
like
flying
demons
puppies.
straight from
Yeah.
hell.
that are also adorable. I love demons straight from hell.
But
Looks
yeah,
like-
I love this scene where
it's
they
like
all
the devil
swarm
from
him.
Spawn. Sorry.
I love the scene where they all swarm him, and he's like terrified at first, and then he has to face it, and he just lets them all swarm him, which is
Yeah.
really cool. It's cool to see it, like that wide shot of him just
Yeah.
covered in them. Is
And then the
awesome.
podium starts to raise, and then it cuts to black.
No, that's a different one.
Oh. Yeah. Oh yeah. Whoops. Because he rises.
Yes, different movie. So then Crane,
Should never have rose.
Crane,
They do it at the end of all three. Something kind of that I like. So yeah, good.
so Crane meets with Falcone, and he lets him know, he's like, "Hey, we can't work with you anymore. There's a DA sniffing around." And then we learn that they both work for a shadowy figure.
Yes.
Person, they're just like, yeah, you know who I work for. And when he comes here, and even Falcone's
coming?
like, he's coming here. But yeah, so he's just like, hey, I know who you are. Let's relax. We're both equal here. So Crane tells me, like, yeah, there's a Rachel in the DA. She's giving me shit. He's like, we'll pay her off. It's like, not this one. He's like, all right, we'll take care of her. So yeah, they're planning on killing Rachel.
Well, that's what they're saying.
Yeah. So then Mr. Earl is feeling high and mighty.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we're making Wayne Enterprises public. Yeah.
And we're buying we're
And
making
we're gonna make a
military
shit ton of
guns and all
weapons.
that
And
shit.
someone there
Yeah.
is just like, I don't think Thomas would have liked that. He's like, that fucker's been dead. Who cares?
Been 20 years. You think I care what Thomas Wayne
Yeah.
thinks?
I don't give a shit about that guy. We're going public. It's not like his son's gonna show up 5 minutes
Now.
from now. Bruce Wayne shows up.
Speak of the devil and the devil arises.
Yeah, flirting with the secretary, who's gone on to be in a couple movies. I think she was in Cobweb. She played a small part in that movie,
she?
Cobweb.
There
Yeah.
wasn't many people in Cobweb.
She's done
Was it
horror
Cobweb?
movies.
Cobweb had a very small cast.
No. Oh,
No.
God, wait. Maybe it
not.
wasn't Cobweb. Maybe it was that awful Jenna Ortega movie we watched.
Talk to me.
No, Miller's Girl.
Probably wasn't
The creepy movie Miller's Girl. Anyway,
Oh, with the teacher?
yes.
Yo.
I think she was in that. Anyway, he's
Wasn't
flirting
a
with
horror
her.
movie, but it feels like a horror movie.
Then we get that awkward moment where he opens up the door. He's like, Bruce, I thought you were dead. And I'm sorry to disappoint.
There's
yes.
so many good one-liners in
Huh?
There is.
so many good one-liners and
Well,
just
that's
little
from Escape from New
moments.
York when they see Pliskin. They're like, I thought you were dead. So yeah, he tells him like, hey, I'm not going to interrupt your operation, but I want a job. I want to work in applied sciences, which is Lucius Fox's
Fox's
division.
department. I'll let him know you're coming down.
I'll let him know you're coming down. In between this, Rachel finds out Bruce is alive, and she's like speechless. She's like,
Wayne's back.
I gotta go. Bruce meets Lucius Fox, who is a character from the comics. He does take care of a lot of the Wayne stuff.
This was written for Morgan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in this movie, they really, and I know he does it in the comics and stuff, but I feel like these movies really cemented him as Q. He's basically
Yeah.
Batman's Q
Yeah.
in this series,
Yep.
just making the gadgets for him.
Yes.
Which is fun. Wayne sees what will become his utility belt and his bat suit. And
I
he
love
asked
that.
about spelunking.
Spelunking.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I want to go spelunking, cave diving. You have anything for me?
I think this whole
very
scene
cool.
is really, really awesome
Yeah.
because it really like just that beginning of all that gadgets and all of that. You're like,
Because that was the problem with like the Burton one. It's like, where'd he get all this shit? I know
Yeah.
he didn't make it.
I mean, this is a true origin story.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they really. It's the first like hour and a half of just how he got his gadgets.
Yeah.
It's so many montages of putting it all together and
Yes.
getting
Yeah,
it.
because
you
after
don't
this,
see
it's him
Batman
setting
for
up the
so long.
cave,
Yeah.
and then we learn that all the Waynes were heroic. We learned that the cave was used in the past by the Waynes because there's
yeah.
a foundation there and there's a secret elevator, and it was for the Underground Railroad. Apparently, the Waynes would transfer slaves to
His
the north.
grandfather would
But how
take them
did
through.
Bruce not know about that?
Well, I mean, it was
did.
because it was the 1800s and
But
they
like
kept
no
it
one
quiet.
knew about it. I guess.
I guess after the
Alfred knew about it. I mean, he probably
No,
knew.
well,
it was just
he knew about the railroad. He
dumb rich
probably didn't
kid.
know about. He probably didn't know that it happened at Wayne Manor specifically. Oh God,
Oh,
sorry,
God.
sorry, leaked. He didn't know it happened at Wayne Manor specifically. Maybe he didn't know about the cave. He just knew it was something they did. But I like that there's a convenient elevator. I'm sure they had to repair it.
My
I'm
question
starting
is,
to actually smell it.
my question is, how did he never know? Like as a kid, I feel like you would find
That's
that
what I'm
and
saying,
use
yes.
that. Yeah. But
Well, no
it's-
one knew it was there. Really, anyone who knew it was there
Behind-
hit it.
behind
that
the
well was
base.
boarded up.
But then you also have that waterfall. Like, how many times have people gone hiking and they've gone through the waterfall?
I don't think the Waynes let people hike on their
Yeah,
their
on
yard.
their
How
land.
big is their property?
Massive.
Big.
Absolutely massive.
We see it. We see how gigantic it
Yeah, yeah.
is. But it would be funny if they went up to the elevator. They're like, what fucking room does this lead to? And they like knocked out all the books in the library. Like, holy shit, it's been behind the library this whole
Why
time.
is there a peephole here?
Is this where the bats are coming from? We had a secret library elevator.
There you go.
I
Yeah.
wonder what other room peoples there
through.
are.
That is a fun thing because it was the TV series had the library that would open.
Yes.
60s.
And I thought that was
Yeah, and the
great.
comics or the cartoon had like the clock that would open
Yeah.
and go in there.
Yeah. I like the bookcase one.
So yeah, he paints his survival suit and he starts to order pieces of the cape and cowl. They have to order 10,000 so it doesn't look suspicious.
Yeah.
And then he repurposes his ninja gauntlets.
Very cool.
Yeah. And he's getting ready to get to work here. We get to see older Gordon now. He works with Flask, who, much like the comics, is a corrupt cop. Unlike the comics, he's not a 6-foot blonde muscly guy.
Yeah. No.
No, he's not.
He's the creepy guy from Memento.
And Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, yes. But yeah, he's a dirty cop, and like Gordon is just like fed up. He even said, he's like, "Oh, you make us nervous because you're not dirty like us." He's like, "I'm not gonna rat you out. Everyone's corrupt. I don't know who to rat you out to." Bruce suits up. He has just a ski mask at this point. He doesn't have his cape or anything.
Yeah.
And he sneaks into Gordon's office, and I like that he has the stapler to the back of his head. And he asks him for information. He's like, "Why does no one stop Falcone at the dock?" It's like he's got him paid off. He's like, "Who do I need to figure out how to stop him?" And he gives him the list of like the judge and everything to take him down. And then he leaves. I like Gordon chases him. Batman hasn't learned to
I love that.
I love that Batman hasn't learned to
Spelunk
sneak
yet?
away mid-sentence yet.
Yeah.
He will get better at it. This is the first time he tries to sneak away from Gordon. He does a terrible job.
Yeah.
He jumps off the roof and almost dies.
Didn't he learn how to do this in ninja school?
Well, not jumping from building. There wasn't any buildings in Iceland to jump
Glacier
from.
to glacier, I don't know.
The best.
I mean sneaking away.
Yeah.
Like that
well,
should be ninja
yes.
number one.
Yes, that. Yes.
Well, he never had to sneak away in a heavy ass suit. You know, he's learning.
And
He's
there's only
learning.
a roof. Where else would he have gone? Up or down? So
Yeah.
Gordon was like, all right, I'll go up. And oh, there he is on the roof. Yeah. The best line in the film, though, is right there. When he goes,
You're just one man.
now we're two.
And of course, this means he now has to get his cape. I like that he's limping in the next shot when he goes up to Lucius. He's like, "Yeah, so I'm gonna go base jumping. Do you have any cloth?" So he tells about memory cloth, which in the special features they said it was a thing the military was designing.
The British military actually was designing something like this. So
Did
used
they
it.
ever do anything with it? I haven't heard of it.
Well, you think they would let us know, dude?
don't
It's
know.
a secret.
But yeah, so you can make like a rigid pattern if you put a shock through it. If you put a shock through it, it will tighten up.
There's alien, we've used alien spapeships and we recreate them. You think the government's going to tell us that?
Okay,
No.
do you want that alien autopsy tape? That very real alien autopsy tape?
Legend
No,
of
not
the
that.
Samurai?
All
dogs gotta have it?
No.
is that about aliens? Carry on.
So yeah, he tells him about like this material that he can use in real life. They tried to make the Batman cape with like velvet, and then they did some like
Velvet?
because it does look velvet. His cape. Well, I can't tell there. It does look like a velvet cape. So they tried to use real velvet, and they realized because there was like a lot of water in the movie, it just
Yeah.
weighed them down. So they made the cape out of like parachute material that they punched hairs into to mimic velvet. That's like they really like the velvet look, but they couldn't do it with real velvet. So now he has his cape that can like form into bat wings.
This cape looks so good. In this.
And then he, while he's looking at this cape, he notices something else. He's like, "Hey, what's that over there?" And then we get to see the tumbler,
Yeah, that's cool.
which is the Batmobile. And of course, he goes, "Does it come in black?"
Take me for a ride, Bat Daddy.
Yeah. So it turns out.
And they make more sense of it. It's not just like, a random vehicle that was made for him.
Yeah.
The fact that it was a military
bridge
vehicle.
Yeah,
And
yeah, it was supposed
exactly.
to.
I love that.
Yeah, it was supposed. Two of them were supposed to jump over a cliff and set up a bridge, but they couldn't get the bridge to work. But they can make it jump. It can
They
do a
make it
rampless jump.
Which is
Yes.
crazy, which I feel like I didn't like used to pick up when I was younger watching this, but like it jumps a lot. He
Yeah.
even jumps to
Yes.
get back into the Batcave.
That
I
was
don't
the
know,
big thing.
yeah.
It could do a rampless jump
Yeah,
from
I
anything.
don't know. Rewatching these films again, I was like, what? I just,
Yeah.
it's so good.
So then we see Flask meeting with Falcone, and he tells him that it's risky going after Rachel. He's like, isn't that going to draw too much attention? He's like, oh, people get mugged. Don't worry about it.
All
It'll
the
just look
time
like
in
a
this
mugging.
city.
Yeah. Bruce gets his cow. It's broken.
Yeah.
It's flawed. I like that he smashes it. It's like, well, the next 10,000 will be better.
The graphite
Just
was
don't
wrong.
fall in
yeah.
your head.
Yeah, so now we know throughout the rest. I thought they would play into it more. We
I
know
did too.
throughout the rest of the
Yes.
film, we know that it's just like, oh God, I hope no one punches him in the head because
But he falls multiple times.
he does fall multiple times. You should be like, ow!
It must not have been strong enough by the time Bane came around either, because he does crack that
No,
cow.
that's just how strong Bane
Oh,
is.
okay.
Also, he hadn't worn it in 8 years. I don't know. Anyway,
maybe he put an old one on. And he put
yeah.
a bad one on. Right there.
Oh shit, this is the original.
Oh,
Shit, this is one of the 10,000. Damn it. Oh, got rid of him. Alfred.
then he makes some batarangs.
Yeah.
He's like
They're
doing.
cool.
He's making batarangs. That again. So this symbol and the batarangs is the one they use for the movies and your tattoo and everything. But the one on his chest looks different. It's a repeat of Batman '89, where the symbol on his chest doesn't match any of the other symbols.
Nolan
Yes, I love
went
it.
to somebody, one of the comic book writers, and asked, if it was cool that he didn't use the yellow for the chest because he didn't want it to. He wanted it to be all black. And
Yeah.
a different look.
I
and all
like
that.
the suit. It is
Yeah.
weird that the belt is still brown. I feel like if the belt's brown, you need like a brown emblem.
I think it's something to just cut up the
Yeah.
suit, though. If
I'm
it was
fine
like
with
all
it. I'm
black
fine
like
with
that. I think. Plus, the way that he puts it on in that one shot, like it looks so cool.
Yeah.
How it,
But I think,
Yeah,
like-
if it was black, it would have blended in.
I think like the actual symbol on that suit, it didn't really work well, so they modified it. They figure out a way to do it in the next one. Oh, and he tells Alfred, it's like, I'm afraid of bats, and I want my enemies to also be afraid of bats. And then he does that cool bat thrill.
put fear in them. Just the whole theme of fear.
Yes.
We're really driving it
Wait,
home
this
now.
movie's about fear?
Yes,
All
it is.
about
I think they say fear like
Wait, did his
10,000
parents
times. I need to Google how many times they use the word fear in this movie.
Because my parents died. I always think of Jesse Eisenberg. Go back.
So,
God.
So they're at the docks. Falcone's there, making sure the shipment goes well. So we learned that there are drugs that go to the Narrows
Yes.
and get spread out, but then these bunnies go to a different house. And like Flash is like, what's the difference? He's like, don't ask about it.
Don't ask, don't tell.
But then one by one, Batman picks off the dock workers.
This is a horror movie.
Yeah.
Like this is the next 5 minutes is just a
Yeah.
straight up
I like
like
it.
it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
And then that, it always echoes through your head when he's like, "Where are you?"
Here. Oh yeah, his bat voice.
His voice. The
okay.
start.
For this one, he has like three. Obviously, he has
Yes.
Bruce Wayne. He has the
whisper.
intense Batman voice, and then he has the more restrained one for when he's talking to not criminals or being quiet.
Katie Holmes and
For some reason, in the next two movies, he's like, I'm just going to do the one voice over
Just
and
go all
over
out.
again.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it was cool when you did it when you're interrogating. I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
mind it. I think it's fun.
I mean, like he Christian Bale wanted to be more of like a monster and put
Mm.
fear into people and really use that. I like when he does the whispering kind of one. Like I think
Yeah.
that's way.
It
like,
honestly,
It's more effective.
it's yeah.
it
like-
only annoys me when he does it around people he knows and he's in private.
yeah I guess.
Until Dark Knight Rises, when you
guess.
learn that he does it to himself when no one's even around. I'm like, okay, you know what? Now I
Yeah.
like it. Now I like it again.
Yeah.
Because he's
I
just
mean,
got. He's just
He's
insane.
just lost it. Yeah.
We're never gonna get a Kevin Conroy to where it's like he has this voice for Bruce Wayne, but it's still his voice for Batman, just like
Yeah.
deeper and darker the way he does it. There's no like extra thing that he puts on. He just makes his voice a little bit deeper and like more to the point. Same thing with like with Superman and Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Like with the new Superman trailer, when you see like I want to interview you'd let me interview Superman. He goes sure, and then she goes okay, so Superman. He goes Mrs. Lane, but like,
He, like, changes
really
his whole
snaps into
demeanor
it.
and
So where it's
everything.
like you need like. I don't love Christian Bale's like over the top voice with this.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean,
It depends on the
you know,
scene. I was
yeah,
fine with
depends
it.
on the
really.
scene. Yeah.
It's also, by the way, people hated it at the time, but now it's like everyone loves doing it.
Well,
Yeah.
because everyone's so used to
Everyone
it
loves
now.
doing
Swear
it.
to me! Swear to me!
But yeah, this is when he drops in and we get like the shaky cam. The shaky cam works for something like this.
Yes.
For this kind of fight scene, I think
like
it
that.
works.
It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
It's dark. Yeah, shaky.
And I like that Flask is like, yo, you better leave. And then Falcone doesn't leave. Falcone's like, what's
Yeah.
going on over there? Oh, God. And he like runs away.
Falcone, I feel like sometimes can be a little bitch once in a while.
Yeah.
Like just an idiot.
Now,
I mean,
speaking of things
because
that
he's not a real Italian mobster. He's just a mobster.
there's a few things in this movie that I think they were like, you have to do this. You don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Batman breaks through the top of the limo, pulls him out, and says,
I'm Batman.
Yes,
And
it
I-
feels forced.
that feels
it feels forced.
forced, and I feel it's because that line has become so iconic. Like at that point, people still remembered it. People were still quoting it.
Yeah.
I feel like they felt the need they had to
But
do
there
it.
had to been a better natural place in the movie where they could have done it. Not
Yeah, or at least
Well,
like,
he's
say it to
announcing
his
who he is.
face. Like if Falcone was more like to his face, like, you know, how you already grabbed him. He's like, "Who are you?" And he says, "I'm Batman." But like the way that like Falcone's in the limo still by himself, and he's like, "Who is this guy?" And then
And he
comes up and grabs
Yeah.
him. And he goes, "I'm Batman." And I think that's why it made it sound more like
Nice
weird.
coat. That bum, I love the bum happened to be there that whole time. Ignored all of this.
listen, he's seen worse shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Batman flies up into the air.
Yeah, but I agree. I think if he said it to him, like,
I
"Who
think if he
are you?"
grabbed him.
or
Yeah.
something
Yep.
like that,
And then in his face, he goes, "Who are you? What are you?" And
Yeah.
then says the line.
that would make
think
more
that's-
sense to me
yeah.
instead of.
Yeah,
mean,
I just
did
feel
he-
like they were forced. They had to do it.
Did he always
way they
have
did it.
his
Yeah.
special hearing?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
he
so,
He always
yeah.
wears it, right?
Yeah, but I think it would
But
have
it
been
still
less
doesn't-
corny if he would have just said it face to face.
Um,
It's so good. And then he also flies Alpha into nowhere.
Yeah.
He's in a shipping yard. And then he like
well,
just
it's implied
flies.
there's like a crane or
Yeah,
something.
I know.
Yeah,
It's just
because he comes down from a crane earlier.
yeah. I know.
But yeah,
It
so
just happened to
he
be right above the car, though. Okay,
Just
the
looks
train just
cool.
happened to be there.
Yeah, just setting up some more fear.
so he takes Falcone,
His
and then we
parents are dead.
see
Whoa.
Rachel.
Yeah.
I missed that
I
part.
know.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear in this. Rachel gets off the train, and Falcone's men go to fight her. I like that she like slaps the one and pulls the taser out, and she thinks they're afraid of her, but it's just Batman beating the
I think
shit
that's
out of
so
the guy
funny.
behind her.
Do you think a DA would honestly be on a cell? It felt very off to me.
Well, she's a DA assistant.
Yeah, she's assistant DA.
But I don't know if would an assistant DA be like riding the subway like that creepy and
Yeah.
by herself?
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean,
think a DA would want to, even assistant
people
DA
in
would
New-
be a little bit more
I don't know.
protective.
People in New York, man, they take the subways all the time.
Her car was in the
But by
shop.
themselves?
She
People,
needed to
yeah.
use the subway. Her
I'm
car
not
was.
saying like in the shop, but like in the I don't know. It just feels
Did
like
she say
she's
her
like
car was in
by,
the shop?
I agree. Her character in this
Yes.
universe shouldn't be using the
Should
subway.
not be using. the
That's
subway.
what I'm saying.
Yes.
Why is everyone telling me like no, it happens. It's okay.
Well, because like it's also like, you know, I mean, if you talk to people who live in New York, like they use the subway
know,
all the
but, like,
time, and like you know,
I'm
don't
saying
think
specific-
about it
not
like
saying
that. They're
for
just
all-
like, I have to get somewhere. I'm sorry. Go on, please.
No,
Please, we can discuss.
no, I'm wrong about everything.
I didn't say that.
So she tries to electrocute Batman. And I like that Batman just stares at her and just pulls it out. But yeah,
Pulls it out. Woo!
Whoa.
Uh,
But yeah, he tells her like, "Hey, they're after you. Here's some evidence, leverage on all his supporters. I'm gonna help you out with this." And then he leaves before she's like, "Who the hell are you?" He just disappears.
Yeah.
And then we see Batman strung Falcone up on the floodlight, and I like Gordon being like, "We'll never tie Falcone to this." He's like, "Actually, he's right there," and it's making it look like a bat symbol.
Wow, how
That's really
perfect.
funny.
What if they were like, it looks like a robin? Okay. All right. He's Robin Man. Okay.
Loeb is not happy about a vigilante doing their job.
Yeah, it can't
He's
be.
like, "I don't like this," and Gordon's like, "He gave us the biggest mob boss." He's like, "We should have been us."
Yep.
It's like,
Get
well,
him.
it wasn't. Sorry, Loeb, you suck.
They
Fine,
said
kill him.
they still have to follow the rules or something like
Yeah.
that. The laws. You're like, really?
And I like Rachel with the DA. She's like, "We can get him." It's like, what about this bat guy? Like, who gives a shit about the bat guy? The
Yeah.
fact that Falcone was there and all of this.
We can get him.
Even if there was a bat monster, we have him now, so they feel
Yes.
confident they can
Yeah.
take him down.
Like it. Love it.
Let's get him. I love Bruce wakes up, and this reminds me of me every day. He wakes up, drops down, starts doing a million push-ups. Every day I wake
hit
up
it.
and I do a million push-ups.
Yeah, well, you look like it.
Thank you. I would do them right now, but I was at the gym earlier, so I
No,
had to
understood.
rest.
Yeah, I told him he should add some ab work in. You know, he needs to add a little bit of ab work in. Some bicycles,
you're not-
crunches.
Well,
Yeah, you
now
have
that
to
I
do
watch this
that,
movie,
like-
Frank, I actually
too.
thought, now that I watched the movie, I'm going to set up big logs in the back and stand on them, and I need you to hit me in the abs
Yeah.
while I'm bouncing on
we could
logs
do
like
that.
this movie.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I'm
Can I
down.
hit
We'll
you
take
with the
turns.
log?
Take
No,
turns. No.
you're not invited. This is man stuff.
No. Only people that like him can hit him with logs.
Yes.
You'll hit him too
Because
hard.
I know they won't hurt me too much.
I just want to hit him with a log.
No, because he might hit me in different places. You're going right for the balls every
Oh, no, I
time.
was going right for the
I'll be
face.
like,
You want to be like Batman, right, Tony?
I was going to go for the face, Tony. What the fuck are you talking about?
So I like that Alfred's like, hey, you should come up with alibis for why you're all bruised and battered. Maybe polo. He's like, I'm not playing polo. He's like, all right, well, then people are going to ask, what? There's a guy going around with a lot of high-tech stuff, and you're never around.
Yeah, go out and start buying shit.
And I love he goes like, why don't you pretend to have fun? You might have some by accident.
I love that.
So yeah, he tells him to work on his public persona, which is part of being Batman.
Yeah.
But before we see him do that, we get to see Wayne Enterprises. That one Wayne Enterprise guy lets Mr. Earl know about the missing weapon. That guy was in the Rings of Power show. That's not very good.
Who is it that does let him know? Because Christopher Nolan's uncle plays.
No,
one of
that's the
four
other guy.
member
That's the other
guys,
guy.
right? Okay.
Yeah, this is the different dude.
I
He
forgot.
lets him know. He's like, "Hey, Mr. Earl. So we had
By the way.
we had a weapon that was like a microwave that would destroy water. It seems like some terrorists have grabbed it off a boat and they turned it on and everone's dead and it's missing." And Mr. Earl's like, "Well, that's not good. There's a reason we hid that on a boat."
in the middle of the water.
And they
Yeah.
Uh,
Then that night,
I know,
Bruce
it's
Bruce
dumb.
shows up to meet with some Wayne people like Mr. Earl and whatnot with two hot babes.
Yeah.
I
Being
love
babes.
this.
Oh yeah. Nice car. You should see my
other one.
one.
He also pulls up in a Lamborghini Murcielago. Murcielago in Italian means bat.
Thank you.
I didn't know
Thank you.
that.
Thanks for
The
coming.
more you know.
Thanks for
Frank, do you know what
Hey.
fox in Italian is?
What is it, Tony?
I don't know. El Foxio? Who cares?
It's not Muschietti.
The fuck?
Do you know what fox in Italian is?
No.
It's
Volpe.
Volpe.
My last name means Fox.
Because you're such a fan.
Well, they call me Frankie Foxy.
Oh, hey, thank you,
Hey,
Foxy.
baby.
Dude, Trisha's old social media used to be Trish Foxy. You guys aren't original, you
No, I'm
assholes.
not Frankie Foxy.
That's
I'm Frank
awesome.
the Fox. She was Trisha. She was always Trisha Foxy. Yeah. But yes, Volpe.
Wait, is that because of... Whoa.
By the way,
Pokemon.
Yeah,
Vulpix.
Volpetta.
Yes.
Volpetta, yeah.
Wow. My mind's
Yeah.
blown.
Yeah. So that used to be my
Pokemon
favorite.
was making me learn Italian this whole time.
One of my favorite Pokemon growing up because
The Japanese and the
names.
Italians.
Yeah,
Like,
love it, dude. Love it.
wow.
good job. Good job.
Good
You
work.
learned something today.
Bravo.
By the way, seeing Christian Bale with two hot babes after seeing American Psycho, I'm like, oh, this isn't gonna end well. He's gonna murder both of
I
them.
hope Huey Lewis in the News doesn't start playing. Fuck.
So yeah, he has the dinner. Everyone's talking about the Batman. The one woman in the scene is she plays a character in Following, Christopher Nolan's Following.
Huh.
The one that's just like, oh, he deserves a medal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that lady. She was. It's been a minute since I
puts
saw
a-
Following, but I know she's in it.
He puts a couple of those. The guy who
Yeah.
is the Woodard guy at the end that's trying to check
Yeah.
where it's going, keeping
really
track
do
of the
say
train
Woodard.
or whatever. Yeah, sometimes.
Water.
If I need to act
Calm
like
the
a
fuck down.
well-spoken man, I'll say water.
I like that Bruce makes fun of Batman. It's like a guy who dresses like a bat clearly has issues. And then he gets yelled at for having his girls in the fountain.
Love
Yes.
that.
And he buys the hotel. So a lot of this version of Bruce Wayne, I forgot to mention it earlier, is kind of based off like stories about Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
Really?
Which, if you don't know Howard Hughes, look up Martin Scorsese's The Aviator. Is that Nat back?
There is an app.
God
Yeah.
damn it.
Come on, Natman.
So apparently, I remember hearing stories about Howard Hughes. I think he did this, like he got annoyed or something, so he just bought a
a hotel.
restaurant.
I love that he just like writes a check though, and just like here,
Yeah.
just bought him.
I'm like, I don't think
Right.
the waiter
Mr.
can.
Hotel.
There's a bill of sale. I don't know if that's how that works.
No.
So I think that because he they kind of made it seem like the girls just went and had fun and swimming and this and that. I think that he told the girls before they went in to go swimming in the fountain
Yeah.
that's in there because when they go to leave, she's like, she's like, Bruce, we have more hotels for you to buy. So
Yeah.
like it's a plan for him to seem like he's
Yeah.
extravagant and an
Yeah.
asshole, and he also.
But
like,
I like that Alfred's like, hey, you should try to socialize and try to look like you're having fun. And
Yeah.
Bruce's first thing is like, bang 2 chicks at the same time. Let's go.
Well, he says date movie stars.
You know what? Because he had just watched Office Space, where they asked the guy, if you had something $1 million, what would you do? And he goes, 2 chicks at the same time.
Hookers and fast cars.
But yeah, on his way out, he bumps into Rachel,
Yeah.
who's on a date or something. We don't know why she's so dressed up there.
Well, yeah.
Um,
this isn't me.
Yeah, and he goes, oh
not
no,
a
this is
DA.
me. This is just like a character I'm doing.
Banging him.
And she says it's not who you are underneath, but what you do that defines you. And he's like, why are you throwing out philosophical quotes? Aren't you here to get like railed by like a DA or something?
Fuck, I'm gonna go soft when I try to bang these 2 chicks now.
That's it. I'm getting the chainsaw. So
He
yeah,
starts walking away
That's
like this.
actually
He's like, yeah.
So, we get to see Falcone in prison because he tried to commit suicide. He cut his wrist.
Oh God.
And I like the
please
girl's
help
like,
me.
he's probably looking for the insanity plea.
Yeah.
So he goes to meet him, and I like that he's like, yeah, the walls are closing in, yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
But Crane is like, no, we're not going to help you out. He's like, yeah, well, I know about the experiments you did and all this, and I'll rat you out, and
down
I'll
with me.
take you down with me. And then Crane's like, all right, do you want to see my mask? So he pulls out this mask, and I like that Falcone's like, what the fuck is this?
When did the freak join the freak show? Or
Yeah,
when did
the nut take over the nut
take
house?
over the nut house?
Yes.
And
Yes.
this is a really
Sorry.
creepy scene. He hits him with a lot of gas. He
God, that pipe!
Shit! Oh, I'm sorry. How do we turn it off? Oh, are you okay? Okay, no, I got it. Sorry. I fixed it. Come back, Frank. Come back. Did you just knock all my Dracula stuff over?
I thought I was gonna break something. How did that happen?
I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry that gas leak came right when we were talking about the scarecrow hitting Falcone with gas. He sprays him with the fear toxin, and he just starts going nuts.
Like we are right now.
Yeah, so basically, Crane has just been driving his inmates nuts with this fear gas.
Yeah.
And that's why he hasn't been afraid of Falcone this whole time. Whoever's backing him has more power than Falcone.
So like you start to get the vibe, like okay, like
Yeah.
it's definitely.
and I do
yeah,
like
there's
afterwards, he's like, oh, he's not faking. We got to bring him to the asylum.
and like the woman doesn't even like second guess any of that. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
a minute
like-
ago they're like probably faking, and they're like, oh no, he's actually just started screaming constantly. Let's get him in the asylum.
Lost his mind.
So Batman talks to Gordon outside of his house, and he's just like, storm's coming, like Terminator.
Like
But-
every movie.
Yeah, so he tells him about Flask. He's like, hey, Flask moonlights as an enforcer for Falcone.
Yep.
You find him here, and I like this is Batman got better at it. He leaves mid-sentence.
Yep.
Because
Very
he's like,
good
I
at
think you're trying to help, and he looks and he's just gone.
Gone.
Yeah. They did a lot of cool stuff with like Batman crouching. They always have him like crouching.
He's always
Yeah.
crouching. Yeah. Which
Yeah.
like I guess that's a baddish kind of thing. He'd be perched up on something, but like he's crouching on a railing here, right? Like what is he? How is he? Even like there's.
Batman.
It just like if you see the wide of it, it
Ninja,
probably
okay?
looks
Ninja
really,
move, okay?
really weird.
You learned how to dance and how to crouch on railings.
I got it. It just it probably looks weird from afar.
So here's your favorite scene. Flask steals falafel.
Yes,
He doesn't pay for the falafel. He actually steals the money.
Hey man, I got kids to feed.
And I like it. They don't like
what?
falafel.
They don't like falafel. So good.
And as he walks away, Batman snatches him up. And this part always grossed me out because he's got the food on his lip and I can't not see it. I'm like,
Yeah,
"Ew."
I know.
It looks a little bit gross.
But yeah, he questions him. He's dropping him and everything, which is a lot of fun.
yeah.
But he tells him, he's like, okay, the
Swear to me! Swear to me!
He tells him the rabbits go to the Narrows, and we don't know what's in it. Something is hidden in it. So Batman drops him on his ass.
He
and
rats.
leaves him.
Yeah.
The DA goes to investigate a container at the docks. He's like, there's something up with this container. And I like the two guys are like, that's owned by Falcone. We don't want to open it. He's like, we're running things now.
Yeah.
They open it up. It's the fucking microwave weapon.
What the?
And then those guys kill him. Gotham is going to need a new district attorney, guys.
Oh no!
Gasp.
I
Rachel
hope
Who
Dawes.
should it be?
I hope the next district attorney is a very one-faced individual. It was funny. I didn't realize at the time because they set up a different villain at the end. I didn't even realize that was like a secret setup for Harvey Dent. Oh, like, that's clever. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I guess you're
They're
right.
going to need a new district attorney in the next
that is
film.
actually really
Yeah.
clever.
He also brings up, who's it? Bruce Wayne at some point says some at the end. Sorry, at the end he says, "Oh, you two-faced, whatever, get out of my house."
They
We'll
drop
get
a couple
there.
references
But
that they're going to
there's,
do something like that.
that.
Or even Morgan Freeman is like when he's going through the Kevlar suit and all that, and he's like, "Would it be good for this?" And he goes, "It'd probably be good for cats."
Yeah. Oh, I think he says that. That's the next one.
Oh, it's the
That's
next one.
It's the next one.
Ah, fuck. Sorry. When you watch them all, straight through.
So yeah, the men kill him, and then while Batman is doing detective work, surprise, he's doing detective work.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
We don't get a lot of detectiveness in this, but yeah.
No, we get a little
yeah.
bit of it. This whole sequence is pretty
little
good.
touches,
He comes across a boy who I'm told is some asshole in Game of Thrones. He becomes.
You haven't seen Game of Thrones?
I
Not
missed
to
out
put
on-
that on you like that, but
I missed out on Game of Thrones, and according to all of you, it sucked at the end because they half-assed the last
Listen,
season.
it was worth it though.
They
it
made
was
it
worth
last
it.
season.
Yeah, they thought they
Did
were
they make the
getting.
last
They were
season?
promised a
I
Star
don't
Wars.
think they did yet. Yeah, I
No.
think we're still waiting on the
Yeah.
last
No,
season.
no, they did.
didn't happen.
They were promised a Star Wars series
it was
of films.
a spoof of a last ending. Actually, it was like an SNL skit.
I don't think they actually made it.
No, it was a really long
No.
SNL
I heard.
skit.
I heard those guys were promised the Star Wars trilogy, so they just wrapped it up.
They
real
wrapped
quick,
it up as quick as
and then they got fired.
fumbled it.
That'd be so bad.
But apparently this
it's
kid-
Joffrey.
Joffrey, yeah.
Joffrey. He's a real asshole. Also, he's like, none of my friends are gonna believe me. And the guy's like, okay, sure, kid. Here's
Here's this high-tech binocular that has Wayne Tech probably
can
all
see
over
through
it.
Yeah.
buildings, and now you're
Yeah.
gonna go into women's bathrooms and look through.
Like out of all the things, give him like the shiny, pointy object. Like,
Yeah. But yeah, he sneaks in. He finds the rabbits with the drugs hidden in them.
does.
But he has to sneak away because the Scarecrow's there
It's coming.
with some bad guys, and they're like, "We're gonna torch everything, get rid of all traces." And this is cool. I like that you see Batman in the background. like,
Yeah, there's a lot of
sneaking down.
moments in these films where it's like he's just off in the shadow.
Yeah.
If the
Yeah.
camera probably moved a little bit to the left, you'd be like, oh yeah, why isn't anyone
Yeah.
seeing that Batman's there?
But then that
But,
one
yeah.
criminal decides he's just gonna piss. At that moment, it's like you couldn't do this on the way over.
Batman was like, I'm hiding in the bathroom,
Yeah.
dude. Like, what the fuck?
So he's beating everyone up, and he thinks he's got the drop on them.
Yeah.
And then, guys, what do you know it? The Scarecrow hits him with gas. I'm sorry. I got it. That was just a small leak that time.
Do you want to switch places?
I said this in the beginning. I said Frank is sitting in the middle,
Nope.
and then both of you said no. Crystal has to sit. In
I'm
the
sorry.
middle.
The Scarecrow hits him with gas, and he starts freaking out. And
The
then
fans will like Crystal getting tortured throughout
will
the,
be
film,
so
the
fun.
episode.
It'll shoot her right in the face. It'll be funny.
Yeah, the
I don't
fans
know
will
what
love
you're,
it.
I don't know what
She's
you're
fucking
talking.
annoying.
Guys, it's just there's a pipe here that's leaking. I don't know why you think I'm doing this.
Oh, well, yeah. It's just so weird that it happens
We're-
every time that we talk
We're
about Scarecrow.
all suffering with the gas right now, even though it hits you and not me. Okay,
Literally hits in the face in the mouth. Like,
I don't know what
can't
you're
be good for us.
Crystal, we're all equally
It's like one of those
affected.
Halloween
Do you
ones too.
understand
Oh,
if we
God.
die? Actually, no, this is Tony's fucking plot because if we die, he actually makes money because he goes, oh my God, R.I.P.
R.I.Ps,
You know,
everyone
here's
like
a
and
GoFundMe,
subscribe
go
and-
to the
Everyone
Patreon.
donate to the Crystal and Frank
Right.
fundraiser that gets distributed into my personal bank account. Don't ask
Exactly.
questions about it.
Exactly.
It's going.
He does this for
oh,
his
God.
benefit.
Anyway,
Well,
He won't even show up to the funeral.
Anyway.
well,
Right.
I mean, he might. He might show up to mine.
He'll go to your. Okay.
He
yeah.
promised me he
because
would.
I would.
because of Trish.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why.
so yeah, Batman starts freaking out. He sees bats. Now you get your fear bats. He sees bats
Yeah.
crawl out of the Scarecrow's mouth, which
I
is
thought that was
awesome.
cool.
Got it.
Yeah, so they used a lot of Scarecrow imagery in the trailers, and they kind of misled you into thinking he was the main bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that I know people have criticized this where he's like not the central focus, but I think that's because
There's
the
a twist.
previous films trained us to think the more colorful whatever bad guy would be the lead.
Yeah.
Even
also
though they
there's,
do
like-
tone his costume down, it's just the
Yeah.
mask and the suit.
There's also the twist here to where it's like you don't really want to lean into Raz al Ghul or I mean like I feel like they showed a lot of Falcone as well, but I mean Scarecrow's what's going to sell the thing and,
Yeah.
and put it out there, and it's more about fear, and the film's about fear. So look
Yeah.
at this fear villain and this and that. I remember one of the commercials I remember the most was
The horse later on.
the Batmobile part where it's like where
Oh,
it starts up and he's like, "What's he driving? It looks like
black
a
tank.
tank." I
Yeah.
just, as soon as I see that scene, I'm always like, remember that commercial. Like,
Yeah, but I just remember they really leaned in on the Scarecrow stuff because they couldn't really show the other villains technically. But yeah, this scene's awesome where he lights Batman on fire.
wild.
And he's like,
I love that.
You need to lighten up. Lighten up. That's a good one. That's a good one.
It's really
He
fucking
fucking jumps out of the building, busts his ass on the ground. He's soaking wet. But yeah, he calls Alfred. And now, speaking of videos that were edited differently, someone edited this scene into Anchorman. Where, you know, when Ron Burgundy is like calling his friends on the phone. They made it where it's like Batman is calling everyone from Anchorman. It's really funny.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so he calls Alfred. Alfred somehow picks him up off a roof. I don't know how Alfred got him. It was funny seeing Batman in the back seat of just a car going like, ah!
Didn't Alfred like physically pick him up? Because he
guess
couldn't
so.
even pick up Rachel.
I know.
later.
Yeah, he had to do
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So
Somehow.
yeah, ass
Big
kicked,
boy.
passes out. He wakes up days later on his birthday.
2 days later.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Uh,
why wasn't Rachel out for 2 days later on in the film?
No, she gets a thing.
She does.
She
get
gets a thing.
antidote.
They don't. He doesn't have an antidote
Right
yet.
away. Yeah, I guess you're right.
But yeah,
But
so I
then
like
also
that.
each time that happens, they act very differently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Alfred tells him, it's like, I had to call Lucius after the first day because you weren't getting better. And Lucius explains it with a bunch of science words that he made an antidote. And then he's like, can you make more? And he's like, I guess. Rachel drops off a present for Bruce for his birthday. And she's like, I can't stay. I think my boyfriend might be dead.
Might be dead. Yeah. He's
So
been
I have
missing.
to go look for him.
Yeah.
Then she gets a call that Crane moved Falcone to her asylum. And she's like, that motherfucker again.
Yeah, and he's all like, "What? You're not coming to my birthday tonight?" And she's like, "Some of us have to fucking work, Bruce.
Yeah, some of us have jobs, Bruce, okay?
Jeez.
Like me, you know, I'm working all the time talking about Batman. Anyway,
The hardest working man. I think he's pretty much Batman.
He's pretty hard working. I've
You know,
never,
it's-
pretty much like Natman.
I've never seen what he does at night.
you know it's hard with this job.
I don't want to see what he does.
You know it's hard. It's hearing people complain about their jobs. And they're like, my coworker was being so rude to me and blah 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 blah. And then I sit there and I go, I didn't review the right Batman movie last year and I lost out on thousands of dollars. I'm still recovering financially from not talking about the right Batman movie last year. And I'm like, I can't relate to my friends when they complain about their job.
People are gonna
You
be
can't
mad.
relate to your friends when they talk about work. Wait, what friends?
What Batman review?
I have friends. We were supposed to do Batman Begins last year, but then we did Mask of the Phantasm, which everyone says is their favorite, but the views say otherwise. Anyway,
People are gonna be pissed that this wasn't Rises.
we'll do Rises one day.
Yeah.
I might just do, that might just be a solo episode.
It should be.
Maybe I'll use AI to replicate myself. That'll be the best episode we've ever had.
It's just replicate it as if you're in a stadium.
In the stadium, everyone has Tony's faces on them.
By the way, I will be at Batman Day at the Mahona Drive-In. Are you coming to that?
I am coming to that.
At least one of the days?
in the calendar, I'm gonna come. Yeah.
Yes, come to Batman Day 1 and 2 at Mahona Drive-In this month.
Come
I'll put
hang
a
out.
graphic there.
I'll be there Saturday.
Yes, it's gonna be a fun time. Anyway,
Let me sign your
you
Batman
can get
stuff
a picture, guys.
as
You can
Bruce
get
Wayne.
a picture with the Batmobile,
Okay.
and also with the uncredited extra from The Dark Knight Rises and the back of the guy's head from Penguin. We will be there. Crystal will not be there, but we will be there.
Well, he'll be there.
I'll be
Oh,
dead from this
wasn't-
fucking.
yeah.
I'll wear the bandana, and Frank will show the back of his head in every picture you take with us.
I really wasn't me. I just have the same back of the head look. It wasn't me. Yeah.
Anyway,
You
so
had
she.
a back of the head
It's
stunt
just-
double.
yeah. No, not even. Just this guy in the Penguin just looked like me from behind. That was it.
That's crazy.
So she leaves and gives him the gift, which is the arrowhead from earlier. She held on to it all those years.
I mean, I have stuff like that
I
in,
guess so.
in boxes and stuff that was from that age.
Why do you give it back? That's what I was curious. Like,
I don't know, because he's back home. I don't know.
Because she's like putting it in his face that like this is this is like who you used to be.
Yeah.
So like when she saw last time she saw him was when he was
being a
leaving with the
dick,
2
yeah.
hookers and in the car and this and that. So
I don't know if they were hookers. But
I
okay.
know, just kidding.
Should I be like, bitch, I gave this to you?
It's not who you are. It's what you do that defines you.
No.
Oh my god, that sounds like it would have been part of a movie, that line.
I mean, it's pretty.
So he
good.
grabs it, and
I got
then
one of those in a movie that I wrote. That's like it's a really good line. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
He realizes that he also has to investigate this Falcone stuff. So he runs to the Batcave, does the little piano thing, and he gets
I
into
love
his
that.
bat suit. Fox gets fired. Fox gets fired by Mr. Earl.
Yeah.
'Cause Mr. Earl's like, hey, can you give me all this information on this thing that we have? He's like, oh, yeah, that was like an illegal weapon. We didn't build that, did we?
That didn't go missing.
Yeah, and then he's just like, I'm firing you. I would have fired him 2 days later after I got all that information.
You would think
little
so.
bit.
So Falcone's insane now, and he's just repeating Scarecrow.
Yeah,
Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
And what's called Crane is just fed up with Rachel. She's like, you did this wrong, and I'm gonna get this, and this is like he has no history of mental illness, and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, let me walk you out. Oh, first, let's stop by the basement
Yeah.
of Arkham Asylum.
There's something I want to show you.
Yeah, I want to show you something in
Yeah.
the basement.
Why don't you go into the elevator with the real creepy guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
he uses his
Not
key to
fun.
go to
How
the
about these elevators?
Yeah, Jerry Seinfeld was great as the Scarecrow. What's the deal with fear?
Do you want to see my mask?
I got sprayed with fear gas, and I had a nightmare that a hamburger was eating me. Final Destination stole
It's
that
a hot
joke.
dog. It was a hot dog.
Yeah, but in Seinfeld, it was
Oh.
hamburger.
What?
Yeah.
That's Final
That
Destination
episode,
took a lot of
we haven't
time.
shot it yet, but it's out before this one. Go back
Oh
and
my
watch
gosh.
Thieves.
It's a great episode.
Unless Crystal dies during this
I
recording.
might fucking die.
So yeah, he goes down there and he shows her that they're just pouring liquid or pouring chemicals into Gotham's supply. And I like that it's all the inmates. He's just using the inmates to do all this.
I mean, well, like, it's all the guys that he's poisoned themselves,
Yeah.
right? That he's like
Well, no, I think-
brainwashed
yeah,
into
maybe,
doing
maybe.
it. Yeah.
But yeah, she's just like, oh shit, I stumbled into something I should not have.
Maybe I shouldn't be here.
And she tries to run away and she's hitting the elevator as fast
buttons.
as she can. And then he shows up with the mask. And of course, guys, he hits her with the. What's wrong, Crystal?
I'm going to die if I keep breathing this
I
in.
don't. No, it's patched up. He hits her with the gas.
You're good. You're fine. I got an antidote.
Yeah, so she hits with the gas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here.
What?
Good.
Crystal,
great.
you're fine. It's patched up. It's not going to hit you, all right? So then the lights go off.
He's gonna do it.
I didn't hit it. Crystal, it's a real pipe. That's
Go,
broken.
go, keep talking. It's a long episode. Blah, 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 blah.
Her jersey's coming out
I
now.
can't believe she said we have to be a bad guy.
I know.
Shut the fuck up. Keep
So
going.
the Scarecrow hits her with gas. Everything's fine for us, not her. And he questions. He's like questioning. He starts to interrogate her. I like that. He's like, "Who knows you're here?" And he screams, and his face gets even scarier. But the lights go off, and he knows who it is. It's the
Batman.
He doesn't even care about the police showing up. So like, they can't stop us. We are so far
What do we
along
do?
in our plan.
You do it anyway.
But yeah, Batman comes down. He starts taking them off one by one. He's beating the shit out of them. It even feels like the 60s for a minute where he's fighting people and the Scarecrow, it keeps cutting the Scarecrow
Yes.
like
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
It felt like the 60s. But yeah, then Batman gets the drop on him and then he hits Scarecrow with the gas. Oh, God. There's so much gas here. I'm sorry.
Why do you put your face in it?
I thought, Crystal, I'm sorry. I thought it was patched. It apparently was not.
Poison, poison Alfred.
Frank, are you okay? Frank, come back to me. Come back to me. It's all in your head. It's all in your head, Frank. Whew, sorry about that.
What are we reviewing?
Batman
Wait,
Begins.
sorry.
It's just smoke, right?
So anyway, so Batman gives him a taste of his own medicine, which he says. It's a fun line. But I love this. He starts questioning Scarecrow, and Scarecrow's imagining him as the most scary demonic monster ever, the Bat Demon.
The black face.
And he's borrowing
oozing
Danny
out.
DeVito's black vial. He's
Yeah.
just vomiting black vial out of his mouth.
It is, yeah.
But he lets him know that he works for Raz al Ghul. And Batman's like, what? That guy's dead.
Sorry, Dr. Crane can't come to the phone right now.
I have that
I
comic.
do think that's awesome.
So good.
I believe that's the Tales from Halloween that Tim Sale did. He says that while he's jumping out of a window or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
So I love that they worked that line into it.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. But yeah, so Batman hit him too hard with the gas.
Lost it, yeah.
He's just like, oh, I should have done that a little bit lighter. If I was in control of some kind of gas, I would do it very sparingly.
Yes.
I wouldn't lean on the button, but I am not in charge of any gas. That just happens to be a broken gas pipe.
Of course. I mean, that's... Yeah.
Why there's an exposed gas pipe in the video store, I
course.
don't know.
A lot of fucking weird shit happens in this video store.
It's not a very good video store.
It's not.
We are also just, basking in it at the moment as well.
I'm pretty sure like it's going to be a really fuzzy on the camera. It's like, it's like, hey
I'm sure they
guys,
can see.
it's like watching through a it's
Big
cool.
shot.
You know what? It is inconvenient that the smoke
It's literally
shoots
wrong.
out and goes right. It bounces off the
I
floor.
noticed
and
that
goes
the first time you like one of the first big
dude.
times. I was like, this is gonna be interesting looking back at this.
I can see it. We're good.
Yeah.
It might have messed up the focus a little bit.
It's going to look very cinematic.
Okay, so Batman doesn't believe him about Ra's al Ghul,
Yeah.
but he just knocks him out. He grabs Rachel, and then Gordon goes into the building without the SWAT team. He's not going to wait for him.
Fuck it.
Batman updates him on everything. He's like, hey, you got to get her. She's sprayed with the chemical. But I can get her to safety. Bring her downstairs. I'll meet you downstairs.
Yep.
And then he calls backup.
And what's that? Back up.
Bats! Which is from Batman Year One. Even the part where it
Yeah.
comes out of his boot is from Batman Year One, where he calls
That is
bats.
so interesting. I wish like how often does he do that?
He should do it all the time,
does
I
it.
think.
He's done it in the comics, Year One and stuff like
What
that.
about
But
any
I
of the
don't
other
think he does it in
movies?
any other movie.
No,
No, not
But he
really.
never does it in the next two too.
Yeah.
Like there's so many
Yeah.
times where he could have.
I mean,
As like cover,
he needs
maybe,
it for cover to get out.
Does he do something similar in BVS with bats?
I forget. I don't think so. You want me to watch that fucking movie again? I mean, at some point I will have to.
At some point, we're gonna have to watch Man of Steel too. I'm still waiting on that.
Sneak it up.
I'm
Anyway,
so excited. Next up,
so yeah, I love this where he like all the bats come in and then he's like flying down the middle of the stairs and they're all surrounding him.
yeah, he like travels with it.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's a lot.
It's cool. And it shows how far he's progressed. He just is not phased by the
Yeah.
bats anymore.
Now he's one with.
And then
bats.
he's running through the asylum covered in bats. And I like that he blows up the wall of the crazy people. Thank God they're like real
Yeah.
lethargic and they're not moving. Because I'm like, I hope those, what are those guys in for?
I hope they're not afraid of bats.
Hey, Batman, you escaped through Jim the Baby Eater's cell. And he went on to eat 5 babies that night. It's like, oh, I wish I went through the guy who throws poop's cell. That would have been less problematic.
What?
Does he know whose cell he left a giant hole in the wall for?
What if it was also like,
Wow.
whoa, run, everybody run?
No, we're good. We're good. We're good.
What if it was like Killer Croc cell and he fucking blows to go into it and he's like, oh, fuck.
There
Killer-
are so many people that could.
Killer Croc, according to that anime, is canonically in this universe.
Yeah. Alligators in the sewer.
Yeah. So yeah, he meets up with Gordon and he puts her in the Batmobile. Yeah. And then they threw a lot of summer blockbuster cheesy lines in this, and they do the Will Smith. I gotta get me one of those.
Well, yeah, he goes, I brought mine first.
Yeah.
Which was cheesy, and then I gotta get me one
Yeah.
of those. And then it's a black tag like right there in the span of 20 seconds is like that's commercial shots.
But I have
right
it
there.
here.
Yeah.
We get the best Batmobile and Batmobile chase until the next movie.
That's all. Yeah.
The next one it turns into a different thing.
Yeah.
I love
This-
car chases. I love Batmobile. This is by far the best Batmobile scene ever.
So good.
And most of it is in camera. Sometimes it's mixed with miniatures.
Yeah.
They switch from miniatures
Yeah.
to camera. There's
Yeah.
some digital stuff.
Christopher Nolan said, as long as you end your action sequence with a real life shot, then it'll trick the brain just enough to where
Yeah.
you won't
interesting.
think that there was like other stuff.
And that
added
makes
in.
sense, because speaking of Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder tried a Batmobile scene, and it looked like a fucking PlayStation 3 cutscene, and it was horribly embarrassing, coming off all the practical, vehicle stuff in this trilogy.
You didn't like when he was shooting the guns at everyone and killing everyone and then going through that yacht at that one cool slow-mo
That is a
shot?
problem, but also it looking fake as shit was the bigger problem. But anyway, but no, this is awesome. He's going all over the place. There is an issue with this. Apparently, there's identical twin cops in Gotham. Did you know about the identical twin cops in Gotham? All right, so when he gets on the garage, he gets to the top. There's a cop that comes out and it's like, stop! Whoa, whoa, whoa. They think they got him, and then he does the rampless jump onto the highway, which is cool when he's like driving on like the rooftop.
Yeah.
But then
He's
after
on the
that,
roofs, and he's like,
I love he's flying on rooftop.
Yeah.
But then it cuts.
would you at least just tell me what it looks like? And it drives by. And he's
Well,
like,
that guy.
Yeah.
It cuts to that guy saying, "Tell me what it looks like." And if you pay attention, you're like, "Wait, that guy was just on the garage." So they moved the scene around, but then accidentally they're like, "Oh shit, we put his one scene before that line."
Wrong
so
order.
now the joke is that there's just identical twin cops in Gotham, and they were
I mean,
both
yeah,
working
you don't
that
catch
day.
it.
Again, until it was pointed
It was
out to
overtime.
me.
It was forced overtime.
no, I agree. I
I
didn't catch it
didn't.
either.
I didn't notice until it was pointed out to
No.
me. That's because the scene
It's
is
so
fast.
quick.
So
and-
fast, yeah.
Yeah.
and his first shot, he doesn't get a close up, so you
Yeah.
can't really get a good look at
So
it.
is that the parking garage from the second one where he jumps down through the center and fucking hits?
I
Scarecrow's
think,
thing?
Frank, I think there's multiple parking
Oh, okay,
garages
yeah.
in
I
Gotham.
also like I like how the spot said compact car and then the
Yeah.
that was a miniature
jumps
shot.
back
That
into
was a
it.
miniature.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Huh, it looked really good. And then also the end part of this chase when he gets rid of those cops.
Yeah.
There's just like does he just shut all the lights off and then they just don't see the Batmobile anymore?
Yeah.
That what
Or is
got
there
me-
some kind of
yeah.
cloaking device that
No, I
actually
think he
closes?
just turns the light
lights
off.
and that was
dark,
it?
But that
yeah.
doesn't.
Like you would
Yeah.
still see
And I think the engine goes
Yeah.
quiet because
That's-
eventually they do see the
Yeah.
outline of it.
That's the only part of this film that I was like,
But he is
Come
like
on.
straight up killing those police officers.
Well, that's the thing. Again,
Yeah.
hyper realism. They're surviving. In real
Are
life, they would
they?
die.
so like
By
the
movie-
the first two guys when he literally runs over the windshield, it's like, oh, they're dead. Like what the fuck?
I
Yeah,
think
he
they
just
show a
straight up
quick
killed
But
shot
then
of
they-
them ducking.
Well, he's the one on the inside going,
Yeah.
it's a black tank, but it's like,
Uh,
okay, well,
But
But
speaking
I
of
mean, they flip, they
Yeah.
fire.
and speaking of James
close.
Bond, it's dropping gadgets out the back. He drops those mines out the back
Yeah.
of his car.
yeah.
Yeah. In any real world, they would die by
He's legit
movie
murdering
logic.
them.
Yeah.
He's not.
Movie logic, he's not.
At least
You
they
can
didn't
s-
drop a bomb into someone's pants and push him down a sewer hole.
Yeah, there's less leeway with that in Batman Returns. It's like, oh no,
Jeez.
he is murdering them. So yeah, it's an awesome scene of him just escaping Gotham. I do like when he gets getting closer to the Batcave, she's starting to like lose it, and
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
have memed that lately. Where they're like, my girlfriend, 5 minutes into a movie, she picked, and it's like Rachel going to sleep and Batman being like,
Rachel! Shit, yeah. Also, the cops chase him all the way to this land that is owned by the Waynes, and then all the way.
That's
through
why I was
the
like,
thing.
where?
Well, they
is
might
that-
think
that's
he
what
just-
I was asking. Like,
Yeah,
where's that
yeah.
property line?
Well, he's just taking off, and it's probably massive.
Yeah.
but like,
Sure, but it doesn't take that long to get to that
Yeah.
waterfall unless that was like a big cut and all of a
No.
sudden.
yeah,
I
but
think
he
there was a
also
big cut.
loses
I
him
think they
enough,
just think
yeah.
he went into the woods. And
Yeah,
they don't know where.
exactly.
Yeah, he gets her to the Batcave. He does the rampless jump through the Batcave.
So cool.
And he gives her the antidote. Gordon learns after this that they've been dumping this stuff in the water supply for weeks. And he's like, why haven't they felt the effects? He's like, because it hasn't been breathed through the lungs. And I have it here. Thank God no one used a steamer, made some tea, took
Shower.
a really hot
Shower.
shower.
Maybe they did.
That could be a thing. Going back, I would have sprinkled in little things like someone went nuts the other day while cooking. I would have sprinkled stuff in like that.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need it, but like, it would
Yeah.
be fun to have those little tidbits of
Yeah.
like, why are these people getting sick?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But no, but so they mentioned like
shower.
yeah, they mentioned that it has to be absorbed through the lungs. So it's like, well, thank God there's no machine that can do that.
Oh, like the one that Wayne Enterprises just misplaced.
That's coming up. That part's coming up.
So good, dude.
Batman gives Rachel information, and then Alfred yells at Bruce for being reckless.
Yeah.
And he's just like, whatever. And he's just like, get Rachel home. And he's like, you have to entertain your guests. Like, I don't care about my name. He's like, it's your dad's name. Come on.
Your father built this. He also
Yeah.
gives Rachel a sedative and puts her to sleep.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy.
Well, he doesn't want her.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah.
He doesn't want her to see Alfred.
Understood. Yeah.
I do like later when Alfred's loading her in the car and he's pretending she's drunk.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alfred criticizes him, and then we see Crane with Gordon telling him that it's like too late. He's like, "What were your plan? How are we going to get in the air?" He's like, "You can't stop it. It's already in effect." I'm crazy now. I'm saying my own name over and over again.
It's interesting. He's functional and crazy.
He's
not.
If I had to guess, he's exposed himself to this over the year. He might have more of a resistance than most people. It might be wearing off on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Or maybe he even has like antidote in him. It's
Exactly.
Just, he got hit too hard.
He
at
hit
first.
too hard, but he still has it. I really like when Alfred's like, when you first said you were going to become Batman, you wouldn't use it for personal gain or recklessness.
Yeah.
And he goes, what do you call that? And he goes,
Damn good television.
Oh, it's so good.
So yeah, now we have this threat that there's a microwave out there. It's going to blow everything up. Bruce learns about the microwave. He asks Fox, "Is like, is there a way you can do this?" He's like, "Yeah, with this device, it's missing. Holy shit!"
What are the chances?
So he tells him, he's like, "You got to go right now and start making that antidote. Holy shit, we're all gonna die. I gotta get these. I gotta figure this out." But then a lady comes up. She's like, "Bruce, I want you to meet some guy. His name is Raz al Ghul."
Am I pronouncing this right? Mr. Raz al Ghul?
And then we see,
I like how his face kind of drops. She's like, what?
He's like, "What? I killed that guy."
You're not
And then we
Raz.
see
I
a
killed Raz.
different Asian guy. And he's like, "Wait a minute. I'm not racist. You all don't look alike. You're not Raz al Ghul."
I killed Raz. I watched him die. Yeah.
I watched him die. I hope that lady is also in the League of Shadows, or else she'll be like, "Hey, I think Bruce Wayne, I was talking to this Asian guy, and Bruce Wayne said he saw him die. It was weird."
So you still see her voice in this shot, or you see her face in this shot, and when he says, "I watched him die," she doesn't even really like change or react. To
Okay,
it.
then she's in on it.
So like I don't know, but like she does walk away
With that guy.
and the new Raz like does follow her creepily.
Yeah.
To where it's like, are they really just connecting? Like they're boys? Like
They were
that's like,
working
they're friends?
They were
Listen,
working
they're
together.
best- They actually met at the party,
I don't
and they
know,
connected.
dude.
It's actually true love. There's a whole other story afterwards.
Maybe.
He was so charming. He was involved with terrorists who tried to destroy the city, but Batman didn't get him. By the way, I know who Batman is, but I can't say anything.
It's actually Bane's mom, and that's how he came to be because they were banging and shit.
So yeah, we get to see the real Ra's al Ghul, and I love this wink and nod where Liam Neeson goes, Is he not immortal? Is he not supernatural?" So the realistic version of him coming back to life is that he used a decoy and an alias.
Which I really like. I love. So
Yeah.
like through the years, they've just handed down the mantle of Ra's al Ghul, and someone else.
So
to
yeah,
become him, and-
Ducard is Ra's al
Ra's al
Ghul.
Ghul,
He was in charge of it the whole time, which means if you're a nerd like us, that Ra's al Ghul is technically this movie's version of Ubu, Raz's like main henchman, who's like a bald guy. He's not giant like Ubu,
But
yeah, you can, if you want to in your head canon, you could say that was Ubu.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
This whole sequence of Ducard telling Bruce like what their plans are and how you can't stop it, and this is what we're gonna do, and simply walk up and stab him in the heart.
Yeah. Well, before that, they do say that, but before that, Bruce has got to get rid of these party goers, so he acts like a drunk asshole.
You two-faced,
sycophantic sucker. Oh, you phony! I remember my friend in the theater when he said phonies, my friend lost their shit laughing. Like that was so funny.
He really,
He's like, I
and
can't
the-
believe I heard Batman call a guy a phony.
The way that like Christian Bale's like mouth is and the way that he speaks and all that, like he already sounds a little bit drunk with this like slight lisp.
Yeah.
I love that.
So like
I'm
it
not
just
finished.
works so well.
It works really
Yeah.
well.
I'm not finished
But
yet. It's not good.
wouldn't they all hate him after that?
He doesn't care. He's saving their lives.
Yeah.
Well,
but
they
in
think
the
he's
next
just an
movie,
asshole.
he's best friends and knows everyone, and
Because they're
everyone's-
still rich and bougie and
Well, no, he doesn't
together
save
and,
their
like,
lives.
shit
According
happens,
to
but,
them,
like-
the backstory is that he got
been
drunk and
drunk and
burned
burned
his
down the
mansion.
house.
Yes. Yeah. But
So
like,
you think they would know nothing to do? I guess because
but
they're
they don't
all
know.
actually
Yeah.
two-faced and phony. I guess.
well, I mean, yeah, of course they're gonna come running back. He throws another thing in the next movie, and they're all like, "Yeah, sure, let's go see Wayne again." Like,
you,
fuck
you
it.
Don't go to Bruce Wayne's fucking house.
I mean, he's
like,
still a
bad
bajillionaire.
things happen there.
He still runs the city. People aren't gonna like
you
turn
just
around.
you might
and say
die,
bye.
you might not.
He's a
you know?
party
That's
guy.
what makes them phonies. They're like, yeah, let's go fucking drink his beer and snort his cocaine. Fuck it.
So yeah, he kicks everyone out, and they confront him. Raz talks about how the fear gas is derived from the blue flower. They're like, Crane figured out a way to weaponize our blue flower thing.
Your blue rose.
Yeah.
Blue Rose.
But by the way, they lied to Crane. I like that they were like, yeah, we told him we're gonna hold the city ransom, but we're not. We're gonna destroy everyone.
Wonderful.
So Bruce is like, what the fuck, man? Don't do that. You're an asshole. So yeah, he tells him more about, like, he tells him that they tried to kill Gotham before. He tells him about London and Rome.
And so this is where
specifically
sacked Rome, fucking conquered London.
And then he tells him, he's like, we actually tried to destroy Gotham before.
Yep.
We used economics. We were going to crash your economy. And it's like, and then your asshole parents
had to die.
To bailed them out, and it's been limping on, and now we're back to finish the job. So in a way, he indirectly caused Bruce's parents to die by crashing the economy. Maybe not him, whatever previous owner of the League of Shadows.
I mean, it's not so much that they had any hand, because it's not even, you can even think that like maybe they had a hand in the Wayne's death, but really just this homeless dude, Joe Chill, tried to rob them one night and had no connection to this
because of the effects that happened there.
Well, I guess because of the effects of
and actually them dying like hurt them because it's like they motivated people to be better,
brought the city together.
And I like that Bruce is like, there's good people here. It's like we've infiltrated every level of their infrastructure, and in between this we see dirty cops letting Crane out of Arkham. They're like, time to play. We even see all the prisoners get let out. Zaz, one of them.
About to add some cuts to his skin. So good.
So yeah, Raz is upset that Bruce didn't side with him. And he burns the mansion down.
Simply walk up and you stab them in the heart.
Yeah, they get into a fight.
I don't know the rest of it. I forget. I used to know, but it's so fucking good.
It's awesome. They get into a fight, and then he leaves him to die. He's like, you burnt my house and left me for dead. We're even.
I should return the favor.
Yes. So he's just knocked out with a burning log over him.
Consider this even. Yeah.
I don't know if that's really even right there. Like, he kind of dragged his body out and saved him. But...
Well, he's a crazy guy.
Well, no, if you think about it this way.
But if you think of it, it's
so
like
I looked at it like Raz.
Yeah.
So he left Raz for dead under burning wood. So like in Ducard's mind, he looked at it like, well, you left Raz, in a burning building to die. So that's the trade-off. Yeah, I know. Cool.
Alfred saves Bruce. Alfred is able to sneak up on a ninja. That guy was new. How many of them are actually ninjas? How many of them are actually ninjas? How many are just people they recruited for this?
They were the Gotham. Shadows.
Hope you're not part of the fire brigade.
So he beats him, and I like that he then when Bruce is at his lowest, he does a whole "do you even lift, bro?" at him. He's like, "What's the point of all the push-ups?" If he's just like, and I like Bruce is like,
"Oh shit!" Can we get a picture of him lifting the log on a T-shirt and says, "Do you even lift, bro?"
I actually love that.
That's awesome. How do they not have that? That's
so he gets him out. They fall down the elevator. He's all bleeding, and he's like, "Everything my father built," and blah blah. And then he goes, "Why do we fall?"
So we can learn to pick ourselves up.
Yes.
Mr. Wayne.
Again.
And that motivates him.
Again.
Back up.
So that motivates him to be Batman.
Back up again.
So that we can begin to pick ourselves up because this is
Batman Begins.
So that we can begin to pick ourselves back up. I like that one better.
So the Narrows, which is like a little island next to Gotham.
He also goes, you never gave up on me. And he goes, never. Sorry. I just love the way he says that. Go ahead.
The police are like, fuck, all the crazy crime-ridden island, all the crazies are out. Lift the bridges. Raise the bridges. Don't let them off. Don't let them off the island.
Don't let anyone leave.
So yeah, they raise all the bridges so they can't get out of there. And they're like, well, shit, what the hell are we going to do? So yeah, Rachel shows up. She gets on there before they lift the bridges up.
Let me run over to the island with Arkham Asylum on it.
Yeah.
Why? Well, she has the antidote. She has to give the antidote to Gordon.
No, but maybe give it to. Yeah, I guess you don't trust anyone else.
Yeah, he can't trust anyone else. They're all corrupt. So she goes to Gordon. And she's like, "You need to inoculate yourself with this. Something bad's about to happen."
She does make it off the island, though, right?
No.
Is she still on the island when all this happens?
Yes.
She dies.
Yes. Because well, not in this one. Because she sees the kid from earlier. He's scared and by himself, and he goes to the cops for help, not realizing they're the League. I like they push him.
Is he in the Narrows? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess
they're all in the Narrows.
Yeah. Okay.
He's
so
the only kid in the Narrows.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I guess he's in the slums down there. So.
Yeah. So she questions the cop. She's like, "Why are you being mean to this kid?" And it turns out they're the League. They turn the weapon on. Yeah, they turn the weapon on. Everything evaporates. They don't have their masks on. I assume they're inoculated ahead of time,
Yeah,
and the masks are just an extra,
I mean, they've
extra
been
caution.
buffing this shit for years.
Yeah, they're probably again. They all have a resistance to
they're
this, but they
immune
wear
by
the
this
masks.
point.
The masks are cool as hell. I like the
Yeah.
ninja
They are
masks.
cool masks. Yeah.
So yeah, fear gas gets everywhere. Only Rachel and Gordon are inoculated.
Yeah.
Flask almost kills some kids. What? Nothing. Everything's fine.
Thank you for protection.
Watch yourself.
You're my
You guys are
man.
scared, guys. I patched it up. I patched
You
it up.
are not a man. You are not manly. You cannot patch anything up. We have realized this throughout
You're
the
not
episode.
a man. You're not a
No.
bat.
Okay, after the last time we cut, I put another Band-Aid on it, and look,
We cut?
Crystal, this thing is solid as a rock.
yeah.
Oh no! The pipe! Crystal, the pipe is at an angle now, and it's hitting just you.
You put your face in it. I am why every time.
All right. Have you ever gone through a haunted house?
Yes.
You literally breathe this in the whole time.
I know,
Okay,
but
okay.
Did you do it voluntarily?
Crystal, it's off. Crystal, it's off. So anyway, Flask hallucinates two kids looking like zombies, and they hallucinate him looking like a skeleton man. He almost kills them, but Gordon saves him.
Yeah. Hits him over the head with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hits him with the thing. He locks him up, and I assume he was eaten by all the crazy people afterwards.
It's a zombie movie now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It went from.
We do see a guy eating a
It's-
guy's head at one point.
It's literally turned into
Yes.
28 days later.
Yeah.
They could have killed Joffrey here too, and just totally
Yeah.
like it's like a go back. If you can go back in time and kill baby Joffrey, would you type of thing? You know what I mean? So yeah.
So yeah, while everything's going crazy, Batman suits up again. I guess he patched up his ribs or whatever, and he's like, we get the bum. It's funny because we don't see it, but we know he has to take a minute to just put eye makeup on. He's like, I gotta look good. I gotta look good.
I am just like the Joker. Fuck.
Yeah. So Scarecrow arrives wearing the straitjacket. Now we don't see a good look of him in the straitjacket design, and for some reason, all the toys went with this look of the Scarecrow. They all went with the long straitjacket design. I'm like, and that was like I have the mask there, but they sold a full costume. I'm like, he barely wears that, and when he does, he's riding a horse, and you can't see it.
Yeah. You think that the horse here is a nod to Dark Knight Returns? When Batman rides the horse?
Nah. I think he just wanted to ride a horse because it was
Is the
fun.
horse also being all crazy?
I guess.
I don't know if it affects animals.
Why wouldn't it?
Why wouldn't it?
I feel like if it was affecting an animal, it wouldn't be cooperating as well as it
no.
is.
He does get tased, and then the horse does just run
yeah.
off. So
I love
yeah.
so he shows. I love that the kid's hallucinating the horse breathing fire and shit.
That's
But yeah,
really
she
cool.
pulls out the taser and tases him in the face.
real easy. and
Ah!
the horse freaks out and runs away.
I love that he
Yeah,
runs
yeah,
into the fog. You still see it shocking.
Yeah.
That's another part where we laughed for the rest of the movie. We were laughing on and off thinking about that scene.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So yeah, he gets away, and I think people were also pissed. They're like, Batman didn't beat him up. She did. I'm like, whatever. He beats 10,000 people up in
He's
this
about
finale.
to beat up your main villain
Yeah.
here. Okay.
But Zaz comes back. Yeah. I don't know why they felt the need to throw him in, but anyway. He goes back. He's about to kill him. Batman beats the shit out of him. Yeah. Saves them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that while this is all going on, this kid is just terrified. He's just like, oh my God. Technically, he should be freaking out at Batman, I guess, because he saw Batman ahead of time.
I told you
Yeah.
Batman would save us.
Yeah.
He's
It's like a
here.
fever dream.
Wait, before you go.
And then, yes, she asks who he is, and Batman quotes her to him, or quotes, quotes
what
her.
She said to him. Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, it's Bruce. And then he jumps off to save the citizens who are terrified of him because he looks like a demon flying above them.
Yes, I think that's hilarious.
I like that they
loved
kept
it.
doing like the light coming out of his mouth.
Not who I am underneath,
But what I do that defines me.
me. And the way he says it here, dude.
What I do that defines
It's not creepy at all.
And I love-
Is there like something covering his nose underneath? Does the
No, he
cowl
has
go
holes.
under
He
it?
has holes.
Does
It
he?
doesn't sound
Because
like
like that is like kind of how he.
But what I
Seriously.
do that
He said the costume was like super uncomfortable. He's like, it would give me headaches and shit. He's
Oh,
like,
I
but
bet.
he's like, I used it to help me.
Yeah, fuck.
I love when he arrives in front of Raz. And Raz is like, oh, I guess you took my advice literally. Because he's
My
literally
advice-
dressed up like a
Yes.
bat.
Took the theatrics, literally. Yeah. Oh, God.
So yeah, he tells him like, I'm gonna stop you. I can fight two of your pawns. More ninjas show up.
I can't beat two of your pawns. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
everyone's beating the shit out of each
As
other.
you wish.
Yep.
So good.
Why
And Raz takes off with the microwave.
is there a reason why the microwave started in the Narrows and not in the center?
So I think he started with Arkham Asylum with the crazies. Started the train there, and then it goes around the whole entire city. So as
That's
it's
the,
going
I think
around,
he wanted to get like.
it's
But
popping through.
isn't
He
it
could
when
have
it
just
gets
did the
into
chain
this-
reaction.
That's what I'm saying. If it was in the center,
Oh,
wouldn't it have automatically
Just turned it on there.
Or
Wait,
is it-
wait,
yeah.
wait. I think
Was there a reason? If
I
did
think
miss
the
that?
shipping container was in the Narrows.
Yeah.
So I think it arrived in the Narrows.
But
and
why
that's-
didn't they just?
he just started.
He
it
just
and-
wanted to start in the Narrows
Yeah.
instead of just keeping it quiet and then starting it in the center and affecting.
Crystal,
everyone
why
at
did he
once?
go to Bruce Wayne's house and let him know everything he was about to do?
Yeah, well, I mean,
It's
Why-
the
that
James
was more
Bond
of a
villain
torture.
problem.
Why does
Like,
he-
just do it quietly. Why did you
does he
announce it?
dress up as a bat and not just fund the police? Give him $1 billion and have him, figure it out. I don't know.
Because they would take the $1 billion because they're corrupted.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, possibly.
And also
Yeah.
because he needs the vengeance to fight it out because he's very angry inside.
Plus, we needed an
Oh.
awesome comic growing up.
Well,
So.
duh.
Sorry, I forgot to mention. He
Just a
gave
movie.
he gave Gordon the Batmobile.
Yes.
He's like, Gordon, you need to drive this
Drive
and
Yes.
stop that train. You got to stop it before it hits Wayne Tower and causes a chain reaction.
very cool. Starting to show that him and because all the other movies before this, you don't have that real connection between
No.
Batman and Gordon. So to really
Other than
show
the
this,
show where they would go to his office and get updated. That was
Yeah,
it, really.
Was
yeah,
it in the show?
In the TV show,
yeah, like what's going on, what happened. That's really it. Yeah.
So yeah,
So good.
I like that he beats up the ninjas, he falls, but then the citizens see him as a monster and they're all beating the shit out of him.
Yeah.
So then he shoots his grappling hook
Almost missed the train.
and he gets on the train. Now this always bothered me, like how does the cord not get cut? But if you look, each little like pillar thing that the train passes through, there actually is a little gap.
So he's just like winding it through.
Apparently, like whatever the pillar, there's a gap that connects it, and then there's a little gap on the side for a
Sweet.
Batman to swing by.
Swing through.
I love it.
Good for him. Good for him. Nicely done. Because the whole time you're like, is he gonna hit something or he's gonna get up there, huh?
Yeah, it's really it's a fun scene of him like
Yeah.
swinging on it.
It's awesome.
But yeah, the train makes it to the city, and now there's more fear gas every. God damn it!
Can you see with all this smoke?
Sorry, that was a little one.
Just a little toot.
He might be a little out of juice. Sorry
Like, I
about that.
know this is most likely water-based fog,
Yeah.
Oh, honey.
but like,
I'm so sorry.
What do you mean fog, Crystal? It's deadly gas.
I mean, I know this is water-based deadly gas,
Yeah.
but like, holy fuck!
Well, Crystal, this is just a little bit of gas. How would you feel if you were in this movie surrounded by gas? It would probably feel like this. I know.
Oh, God. I'm sorry, Crystal.
You know, you also had me sit here, so
Oh,
fuck you.
I didn't know that was going to happen the whole time.
Really?
I thought it was just
really?
a one.
Have you not met Tony?
I thought it was a one-time bit.
You know,
Guys,
like if you just go into like a cigar shop and like you just smell like cigars for a
Yeah, I
while,
hate
like
that.
So Batman makes it onto the train, and I love when Raz looks at him and goes, "Oh my God, he actually made it."
Yeah.
He's genuinely shocked that Batman made it onto the train.
Yeah.
So yeah, they duke it out while Gordon is trying to shoot the track. The tower leading to the track. He's not doing a good job with his Batmobile gun.
He's also the guy comes up. He's like, "Hey, nice ride, man.
Yeah.
Sweet car."
Another cheesy line.
Yeah.
And they have to keep cutting to the guys at the Wayne Tower being like, "It's gonna blow." They have to keep reminding you of that.
Yes.
But yeah, him and Raz, they get into a deep fight, beating the hell out of each other. He like stabs the remote console to make sure it can't go off anywhere.
We don't want to stop this train.
Who said anything about stopping it?
Stop crashing this plane.
But yeah, I like when he goes, "Oh, the old tricks. You have anything new?" And he breaks his sword in half.
yes.
It's awesome. It's a fun fight scene, and then he gets
is.
he gets the one up because Raz didn't mind his surroundings.
Yeah.
But yeah, Batman has him, and he blows up the back of the train. Gordon finally shoots the tower, so it's not gonna make it.
Got it.
And he kills him.
Well, no, he doesn't save him. Okay, well, look, if you were Bruce Wayne,
I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you either.
and honestly, he did save him before.
Yeah.
And how did that end up?
One chance kind of guy.
Yeah.
He could have not saved the Joker multiple times.
No, he would have actually been killing the Joker. That was more murder. We'll talk about it in that movie. This again, this is another
Tomato.
This is another consequences of your own actions. Like, you know what? You could have just not blown up the city.
Yeah.
And maybe I would have grabbed you from this.
Could have just left Gotham
Or he
alone.
could have surrendered, but he wasn't going to surrender. He literally was like, "Oh, you're going to kill me? You finally did what's necessary." And Batman was just like, "All right, this guy's not learning the lesson. Goodbye."
He was ready to die, but also like once the train hits Wayne Tower, does everything like explode? Like that's a full eruption to where like was Ducar or was Raz like he was ready to die?
Oh, yeah, he was gonna
like,
die with
That's a suicide
Yeah.
mission, right?
Yeah.
So it's like so
Yeah, they like
So
that.
does
Fuck
that
it.
thing? Wouldn't
he's gonna die anyway.
that thing's going off? Right?
I feel like once it's
Yes.
the hell was that?
What?
Was that your phone or is that the pipe?
Right.
gas
Not
leak.
like
Okay, so I think once I think it needs to be perfectly level. I think it's delicate machinery. I think once it's no, not this. The microwave.
that too.
No, the microwave. I think once the microwave starts banging around in the subway when it's falling through the air, I think it
Yes.
stops working.
Yeah.
It does blow up. Though.
It does crash below Wayne Tower,
Yeah.
right? Like that's where it does hit. So technically,
Yeah.
it does hit its destination.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I guess by that point,
work.
yeah,
I think at that point it's too
broken.
damaged.
Because wouldn't it? Because it was also causing the gas to happen when it was on the train, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
But I think at that point-
once it hits the ground and probably got destroyed because then it does explode at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To where it's like maybe it was already malfunctioning and then it exploded. Because like if you don't think that Raz died to begin with, by the time the fucking train explodes,
Yeah.
you know he's dead.
I do like that he closes his eyes like he's meditating at the
Yes,
very
dude,
end.
so
Yeah.
good.
And people had theories about if he's going to come back.
That maybe he's like going off into another
Yeah.
body or
Didn't happen. I do like when Batman leaves the plane, his eyes roll in the back of his head and he has like the white eyes for a second.
Yeah.
If you look at it slowly, he like puts
Does
his
he?
eyes in the back of his head.
I love the break the window because now he needs the wind to be flowing through to be
Yeah.
able to hit
Yeah.
his wings.
Yeah.
And then he cuts
Yeah.
the train.
And it's a cool
to
shot
fly
of him
out,
like
dude.
coming out and then you
It's
see the
really
reverse
cool.
with the
Yeah.
train
So
going in.
cool, dude.
Everything blows up. Raz is dead. Gordon's happy. Batman's flying around.
I love that too. He's like just soaring down, and Gordon's just like
Half the city's crazy at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, it's gonna take a while to fix them. Yeah.
Yeah.
The next day.
But does it not affect, because they said when it hit Rachel, it was such a high dosage to where it would cause brain damage.
Yeah.
It was. I mean, she maybe. Yeah.
Is that not enough that they were giving off to cause brain damage
don't
for the
know.
rest of the citizens?
I don't know.
No, I mean it was like a pure dose that she got. He like because Scarecrow even says that he gave her such like a pure.
Yeah, he maybe
like
whatever
a
the word
special
was
enough.
for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
to where it was like pure cocaine.
But,
like everyone else just got like a little bit of snow.
Yeah.
Shit.
Gotcha.
But
A
the
little
next
bit of
day,
flour mixed in.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah.
the next day, Mr. Earl. I like a.
It was too expensive.
Yeah,
otherwise.
it's
everyone
like-
doesn't
he's like,
deserve
no,
that
no,
expensive
yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like, you can't
Okay,
afford it.
Katie Holmes gets the good shit. Yeah.
The next day, Mr. Earl learns that he's fired. We
I-
learned that Bruce Wayne, through different organizations, has been buying all the shares, and he now owns Wayne Enterprises
Love it.
again. And he
Yeah.
gave
Love it.
Lucius Earl's job.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I love when he back at the party says like, "Oh, this basically you wouldn't understand what's
Yeah.
haping at
Yeah.
Wayne
Yep.
Enterprise and throws
And
it
he-
right back."
he throws it right
That
back
is
at him.
such a
This movie's very good on that. It has a
Yeah.
whole
They're
lot
really-
of callbacks.
And
Yeah.
I did love Batman made page 1, Bruce Wayne made
Yeah.
page 8. It's
I
like
do
drunken
love that.
billionaire burns down house.
Didn't
So
you-
yeah, what you call it?
Didn't you get the memo?
Rachel and Bruce, they kiss by the well.
she's such a tease during this.
Cock tease?
Such a cock tease.
What, with the nips showing through her shirt that are very
No, I
distracting?
wasn't talking about that, but I mean,
I
okay.
noticed it.
I know you do.
But also, like, you know, like,
kissed him,
she's
get him
all like,
excited,
I
and
love
then-
you, you're great, I would be with you forever, but, like, you know I
like-
can't.
But she's like, but not.
But like,
this isn't
you're not
you.
a DA, so
I only bang my bosses.
Yeah. But yeah, she tells him like, your mask. Bruce Wayne is now the mask. Batman is the true persona.
Yeah. I like this scene and how she does it and all that, but like it really feels it's the only scene that really feels forced. Like
Oh,
you're you're
yes.
telling us like the Batman legends and like, you know, this is your mask, not the
Yes.
mask that you
Yeah.
wear to beat up criminals. Like it just feels a little forced. And
It's a
maybe
little
because it's
ham-fisted.
her, but like maybe I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah.
When you stop being Batman or something like
Yeah,
that.
maybe
It's
if you
like-
stop being Batman, we could be together
Or
one day.
cliche.
But yeah,
Still 2005, so maybe it wasn't cliche.
yeah,
yet.
it wasn't cliche yet.
Yeah.
It would become cliche.
Yes.
So yeah, they're
It
gonna.
begins. Cliche begins. This whole movie's
beginning
cliche.
of-
A lot of movies.
We're
did-
starting a lot of shit here.
A lot of things did try to rip off Batman Begins. Casino Royale is like the year afterwards, I think.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And they
this-
went with this kind of feel.
This formed like a whole lot of filmmakers fucking study this shit, man.
Yeah.
Because it's the best Batman movie of all time. Go on.
Oh, really?
All time?
He tells you they're gonna rebuild Wayne Manor exactly the way it was,
Brick by brick,
brick by brick.
except for the southeast corner.
Yeah, and then Alfred's like, well, why don't we build that Batcave and make it way better?
Huh?
And then in the next movie, we'll have a really cool Batcave in the next movie.
Maybe the next movie after that will have a really cool Batcave for like 2 seconds.
They should install a a sprinkler system too while they're at it. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
surprised they didn't already, which is fucking
They
weird.
did burn
It's
it down
old.
quickly. Huh.
It's pretty modernized.
well, now they'll have a sprinkler system. So yeah, then the movie ends with Batman meeting with Gordon.
Yeah.
He has the bat signal now. I love that. I couldn't find any mob bosses. And then he learns that Gordon was promoted. And then he learns about escalation, which is like the theme of the next one. And he's like, yeah, we do this. It's like, now you're running around with a mask and we have a new guy. And this is straight up the ending.
We use
of,
automatics, they get semi-automatic.
Yeah,
Or,
Batman
sorry,
Year
That was-
One.
that was a good
Semi-automatics, they
line.
use automatics.
This,
we get Kevlar. They use bullet piercing rounds.
drink every time
whatever it
Frank
is.
quotes
Yeah.
the movie.
It's so good. Drink when I quote it well too.
Yeah.
That one was a little fucked.
But no, this ending is straight up Batman Year One. Batman Year One ends with the
with this.
Joker tease.
So good. And on the plastic baggie, it also says the name J. Kerr, Joe
Yeah.
Kerr.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's it?
So where it's like, why do they know his name or like?
No, he's probably been calling himself
yeah,
that.
Joker or Jaker or
No.
yeah, I don't know. It's crazy.
But he's like, yeah, there's
I
this
didn't
criminal
know
been going around, leaves a calling card, and Batman's like, I'll look into it. Which a bunch of movies have tried to do that little teaser.
I
now.
cry sometimes at this moment when Gordon goes,
I never
wait,
said
and
thank
there's-
you. You'll never have
and
to.
you'll never have to. And then he
then-
jumps off the edge. And then he goes,
And then he
"Dum,
goes,
dum, dum,
boom,
dum, dum,
Batman
dum,
Begins."
dum, dum." And then it's Batman Begins because
He's
Batman
begun.
is now beginning.
Wow.
He didn't begin yet in the beginning. So like you can't say Batman Begins.
What? Yeah.
You could just show bats.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But now at the end it's like Batman Begins.
Wait, did he begin?
Like we're beginning.
Whoa.
Please allow us to now begin. It's so good. I cry
He
every
started
time.
then? He began?
He began to start.
Did his parents die?
Okay.
Wait, what's this movie about?
Really got lost.
Not once his parents died.
You
but
got,
they
you got
did
really
die.
lost in the weeds there with that analogy. Anyway,
I really study these movies hard.
look. Sometimes with these movies, they age. Like we talked about the Burton ones, like they've aged a bit for me.
They didn't age. They're fine.
Okay. I
Fine.
still love this one. There's some cheesy dated stuff like the one-liners that feel very
Yeah.
summer popcorn film that don't really fit in this.
Good for commercials.
But no, I love it. This is the most Batman of his Batman films.
yes.
I don't know if it's obviously not we know what the best one is.
you?
But no, it's a
For you. What is it? For you.
Yeah.
For you.
no, it's a
that what
good
it sound
time.
like?
I still get excited watching it. I watched it in 4K. It looked great. Save that for the third one. But yeah, everything still works for me here. And like I said, it was a really good Batman origin. We don't really need one anymore. Yeah, and it's affected the series since. Like it's become like pretty much the gold standard of Batman origins.
Yeah.
But no, it everything worked for me. What did you think, Frank? 20 years later, what do you think?
Yeah, wow, crazy. 20 years later. I maybe a wrong or biased crazy opinion here. I think it's the best of the three.
Really?
I think it's the best.
But I'm not
Batman.
in it.
Oh my god.
So like I didn't like there's like the best scene out of all three. Obviously,
Well,
it's
well.
your scene. It's your scene.
Keep going.
Anyway, continue.
The best. I think that this is the best Batman film out of the three, but also ever, because Batman and Robin. I mean, you can't compare. But it's a very solid through line. It's been recognized as one of the best origin stories of all time. I think that your first 45 minutes of training, but also cutting back and forth to how he grew up and what he did with Joe Chill and this and that. Like, it's so beautifully cut. Like to have it mirror back and forth where he is now and where he was, and then I mean, I enjoy the rest of it. You know, it's a mob film. You really get nitty gritty. You like, Gotham is its own character through all of this. The fear.
I forgot to mention they filmed a lot in Chicago.
Yes, the
I didn't know
fear based through the whole thing, like what it's trying to tell you, and to never be afraid of things, and to conquer your fears, and be a man, and this and that. And then your endings with, you get a nice solid wrap up with Raz al Ghul and this and that. Yes, he doesn't technically catch or put anyone in jail. There is no, like, you don't catch Scarecrow.
I mean, he did catch Scarecrow, but then Scarecrow was let back out.
But like,
Falcone didn't get out.
I guess so, maybe, yeah. But like, there's no, like, I don't know. I think that this film is not way better than The Dark Knight. And when we get to it, I know it's crazy. The Dark Knight is chaos. It's very fast paced. There's a lot of cuts. It's constantly moving. It's one thing to the next and one thing to the next. It doesn't really breathe at all. You're constantly on edge, which is beautiful for that type of film. Yeah. And I love it. Obviously, don't get me wrong. I fucking love it.
Well, we'll talk about that another time.
But Batman Begins has this.
You're not the only one, by the way, who said Batman Begins is their favorite. I think because it does feel the most like the comics.
It lets you breathe with Batman and watch it come to life and begin.
Yep.
Yeah, I think for a Batman fan, I can see a lot of people liking that. But if you are more of a movie fan and not as hardcore Batman, you may like Dark Knight more because of the cinematography, the fast pace. It tends to capture people a little bit more.
Yeah. It's more of a heat. Your Dark Knight's more of a heat feel.
It is.
To where
How did you feel returning to Batman Begins?
I like it. I think for 2005, I think it holds up really well. I don't think it's a messy origin or where you get tired or you... just two scenes felt, the one line felt forced and the ending felt forced. Wasn't a big Katie Holmes fan in this. But I think it was a fantastic origin movie. Most origin movies I am not a fan of, but I think they did it really well without hitting the audience over the head 1,000 times. I think they stuck true to the Batman character, and I do like that the villains that they did play and did have it more of the mob kind of feel. I did wish I did see a little bit more Scarecrow, just a little bit, because I just enjoyed him so much. I kind of felt like I just want to see more.
Once he's fully formed as Scarecrow.
It was fun revisiting this after The Batman. Yeah. Which is very similar to this.
It is.
I mean, The Batman does its own thing. I know people like that more. I still think I like this more.
This does it better.
They're different. They're fucking different. They're different.
But I mean, when it comes to the dark, edgy, realistic stuff, like comparing this to Batman, like the Ben Affleck one, well, one, those suck. But two, they're very different Batmans. Like, that's the one that's the Justice League fighting aliens Batman. You can't really compare it when it comes to that. But no, I think we all agree it's still solid. Still holds up.
It really is.
Beautiful. 20 years later, still looks great. Looks better than superhero movies that are being made now.
Dude, so good.
It looks better than some Batman movies being made now. Remember what Ben Affleck looked like in The Flash?
I kind of liked his scenes in The Flash.
Looked a little weird. Like, the scenes were fun, but they looked a little weird.
Well, that's, because of he ate too much spaghetti.
But yes, that's Batman Begins 20 years later. I still think it's great. I still think it's the best Batman origin we're ever going to get. I still love this trilogy. It's been, I don't know the last time I actually watched all these all the way through prior to The Batman.
Yeah.
And I like The Batman and The Penguin. And I was like, oh, am I going to be able to like really like these? And like, nope, I still have all the same emotions I do whenever I watch it.
Still there.
There's a flaw here and there, but nothing to actually ruin everything.
No.
No, it's a good time, and I highly recommend you watch it. A lot of people, this one was interesting because it wasn't a huge hit right away. It did okay, and then word of mouth because people were so like annoyed with Batman because of Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
And I think word of mouth really helped it in like the second week. And like, just this is back in when now if your movie doesn't do good a weekend, you're dead.
Yeah.
This is still a time where you could like, hey, word of mouth, like, hey, you got to check this movie out. And it built a following and then people really liked it. Some people did skip it. I know a lot of people went into The Dark Knight blind.
A lot of people did, yeah.
But they were able to pick up some things. But there are weird things like, how does that girl know who he is? But
What's the year that Dark Knight came out?
2008.
But still,
It's
I
not
think
even that long, though. It
3
feels
years. But yeah, I mean, like I feel like once The Dark Knight was about to come out, people watched Batman Begins.
Yeah, I
beforehand
think maybe some people went
because
back.
they were so
Yeah.
excited for The Dark
Yeah.
Knight to come out. They were like, oh shit, maybe I should start watching these.
But guys, speaking of Dark Knight, I think we should come back later.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean 5 minutes from now after I reset the cameras to talk about The Dark Knight.
Why? We're doing that today?
What? We gotta let it.
I'm gonna go
air out
watch.
first,
Yeah, I might have to
Oh,
open
is
up
that
a
a Dark
window.
Knight? You're like, why is there
I might
so
have to
much
open up a
fog?
window because of all the deadly gas in the store.
Yeah.
Frank, where can we find you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Frank_Volpe_, and feel free to say hi and check out my IMDb.
Awesome. Do you have any new short films out?
You always put me on the spot. I gotta start writing these things.
I
down.
shared one the other day.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can
shit.
plug-
Well, that came out a couple months ago, but you could check out.
Why was everyone talking about it this weekend then?
Because I posted a scene from it.
Oh,
Because I
gotcha.
like to wait a while to post my scenes from stuff, so like it doesn't like ruin when things
smart,
come
yeah.
out. I'll give it a few months and then I'll post my favorite moments from it. But you can check out Monica's Dream on YouTube. It's from Bright Light Productions on their YouTube page, or you could check out. I think it's on mine somewhere as well. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff out there. A lot of stuff coming. So very exciting stuff.
Awesome. Crystal. Crystal, where can we find you, Crystal?
Lost in the fucking fog.
Not in the fucking video store. I'll tell you that.
Crystal, what's your socials?
You can find me online. It's fine.
Crystal, where was that? Where can we find you?
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.